This week on Friday Night Football, it's the top matchup in the state of Texas in Week 4 as the #1 ranked Southlake Carroll Dragons play host to their district rivals. 8th ranked Euless Trinity, as one of the great rivalries in Texas, is renewed. These two programs have played some incredible games in the past, including an iconic game back in 2006. But this is the year where we can definitively say that both programs are fully back to being among the very elite in Texas high school football. And their game on Friday night will almost assuredly decide the district champion in 4-6A, even though it's still only mid-September. Players to watch in this game for Trinity, it's a young man named John Meredith. They call him John John. He's the #1 corner in America in the junior class. A 5-star prospect. Name an elite program from all across the country. He can go play there if he wants to. He's a 6'3", rangy, long corner that has a tremendous skill set. He will have his hands full this week, though, because Southlake Carroll has a dynamite receiving corps, led by Ohio State commit Brock Boyd. He had 33 offers in his own right and has filled up the stat sheet all through his Carroll career. You can watch the game live for free Friday night at 7 on WFA+. Download WFA+ to your smart TV for free. Euless Trinity and Southlake Carroll in a game that means everything to these two communities. After the game, check out Friday Night Football 5th quarter for highlights from all around the area. 10:40 Friday night, only on WFAA+. This week on Friday Night Football, it's the top matchup in the state of Texas in Week 4 as the #1 ranked Southlake Carroll Dragons play host to their district rivals. 8th ranked Euless Trinity, as one of the great rivalries in Texas, is renewed. These two programs have played some incredible games in the past, including an iconic game back in 2006. But this is the year where we can definitively say that both programs are fully back to being among the very elite in Texas high school football. And their game on Friday night will almost assuredly decide the district champion in 4-6A, even though it's still only mid-September. Players to watch in this game for Trinity, it's a young man named John Meredith. They call him John John. He's the #1 corner in America in the junior class. A 5-star prospect. Name an elite program from all across the country. He can go play there if he wants to. He's a 6'3", rangy, long corner that has a tremendous skill set. He will have his hands full this week, though, because Southlake Carroll has a dynamite receiving corps, led by Ohio State commit Brock Boyd. He had 33 offers in his own right and has filled up the stat sheet all through his Carroll career. You can watch the game live for free Friday night at 7 on WFA+. Download WFA+ to your smart TV for free. Euless Trinity and Southlake Carroll in a game that means everything to these two communities. After the game, check out Friday Night Football 5th quarter for highlights from all around the area. 10:40 Friday night, only on WFAA+. This week on Friday Night Football, it's the top matchup in the state of Texas in Week 4 as the #1 ranked Southlake Carroll Dragons play host to their district rivals. 8th ranked Euless Trinity, as one of the great rivalries in Texas, is renewed. These two programs have played some incredible games in the past, including an iconic game back in 2006. But this is the year where we can definitively say that both programs are fully back to being among the very elite in Texas high school football. And their game on Friday night will almost assuredly decide the district champion in 4-6A, even though it's still only mid-September. Players to watch in this game for Trinity, it's a young man named John Meredith. They call him John John. He's the #1 corner in America in the junior class. A 5-star prospect. Name an elite program from all across the country. He can go play there if he wants to. He's a 6'3", rangy, long corner that has a tremendous skill set. He will have his hands full this week, though, because Southlake Carroll has a dynamite receiving corps, led by Ohio State commit Brock Boyd. He had 33 offers in his own right and has filled up the stat sheet all through his Carroll career. You can watch the game live for free Friday night at 7 on WFA+. Download WFA+ to your smart TV for free. Euless Trinity and Southlake Carroll in a game that means everything to these two communities. After the game, check out Friday Night Football 5th quarter for highlights from all around the area. 10:40 Friday night, only on WFAA+. This week on Friday Night Football, it's the top matchup in the state of Texas in Week 4 as the #1 ranked Southlake Carroll Dragons play host to their district rivals. 8th ranked Euless Trinity, as one of the great rivalries in Texas, is renewed. These two programs have played some incredible games in the past, including an iconic game back in 2006. But this is the year where we can definitively say that both programs are fully back to being among the very elite in Texas high school football. And their game on Friday night will almost assuredly decide the district champion in 4-6A, even though it's still only mid-September. Players to watch in this game for Trinity, it's a young man named John Meredith. They call him John John. He's the #1 corner in America in the junior class. A 5-star prospect. Name an elite program from all across the country. He can go play there if he wants to. He's a 6'3", rangy, long corner that has a tremendous skill set. He will have his hands full this week, though, because Southlake Carroll has a dynamite receiving corps, led by Ohio State commit Brock Boyd. He had 33 offers in his own right and has filled up the stat sheet all through his Carroll career. You can watch the game live for free Friday night at 7 on WFA+. Download WFA+ to your smart TV for free. Euless Trinity and Southlake Carroll in a game that means everything to these two communities. After the game, check out Friday Night Football 5th quarter for highlights from all around the area. 10:40 Friday night, only on WFAA+. This week on Friday Night Football, it's the top matchup in the state of Texas in Week 4 as the #1 ranked Southlake Carroll Dragons play host to their district rivals. 8th ranked Euless Trinity, as one of the great rivalries in Texas, is renewed. These two programs have played some incredible games in the past, including an iconic game back in 2006. But this is the year where we can definitively say that both programs are fully back to being among the very elite in Texas high school football. And their game on Friday night will almost assuredly decide the district champion in 4-6A, even though it's still only mid-September. Players to watch in this game for Trinity, it's a young man named John Meredith. They call him John John. He's the #1 corner in America in the junior class. A 5-star prospect. Name an elite program from all across the country. He can go play there if he wants to. He's a 6'3", rangy, long corner that has a tremendous skill set. He will have his hands full this week, though, because Southlake Carroll has a dynamite receiving corps, led by Ohio State commit Brock Boyd. He had 33 offers in his own right and has filled up the stat sheet all through his Carroll career. You can watch the game live for free Friday night at 7 on WFA+. Download WFA+ to your smart TV for free. Euless Trinity and Southlake Carroll in a game that means everything to these two communities. After the game, check out Friday Night Football 5th quarter for highlights from all around the area. 10:40 Friday night, only on WFAA+. This week on Friday Night Football, it's the top matchup in the state of Texas in Week 4 as the #1 ranked Southlake Carroll Dragons play host to their district rivals. 8th ranked Euless Trinity, as one of the great rivalries in Texas, is renewed. These two programs have played some incredible games in the past, including an iconic game back in 2006. But this is the year where we can definitively say that both programs are fully back to being among the very elite in Texas high school football. And their game on Friday night will almost assuredly decide the district champion in 4-6A, even though it's still only mid-September. Players to watch in this game for Trinity, it's a young man named John Meredith. They call him John John. He's the #1 corner in America in the junior class. A 5-star prospect. Name an elite program from all across the country. He can go play there if he wants to. He's a 6'3", rangy, long corner that has a tremendous skill set. He will have his hands full this week, though, because Southlake Carroll has a dynamite receiving corps, led by Ohio State commit Brock Boyd. He had 33 offers in his own right and has filled up the stat sheet all through his Carroll career. You can watch the game live for free Friday night at 7 on WFA+. Download WFA+ to your smart TV for free. Euless Trinity and Southlake Carroll in a game that means everything to these two communities. After the game, check out Friday Night Football 5th quarter for highlights from all around the area. 10:40 Friday night, only on WFAA+. This week on Friday Night Football, it's the top matchup in the state of Texas in Week 4 as the #1 ranked Southlake Carroll Dragons play host to their district rivals. 8th ranked Euless Trinity, as one of the great rivalries in Texas, is renewed. These two programs have played some incredible games in the past, including an iconic game back in 2006. But this is the year where we can definitively say that both programs are fully back to being among the very elite in Texas high school football. And their game on Friday night will almost assuredly decide the district champion in 4-6A, even though it's still only mid-September. Players to watch in this game for Trinity, it's a young man named John Meredith. They call him John John. He's the #1 corner in America in the junior class, a 5-star prospect. Name an elite program from all across the country. He can go play there if he wants to. He's a 6'3", rangy, long corner that has a tremendous skill set. He will have his hands full this week, though, because Southlake Carroll has a dynamite receiving corps, led by Ohio State commit Brock Boyd. He had 33 offers in his own right and has filled up the stat sheet all through his Carroll career. You can watch the game live for free Friday night at 7 on WFA+. Download WFA+ to your smart TV for free. Euless Trinity and Southlake Carroll in a game that means everything to these two communities. After the game, check out Friday Night Football 5th quarter for highlights from all around the area. 10:40 Friday night, only on WFAA+. This week on Friday Night Football, it's the top matchup in the state of Texas in Week 4 as the #1 ranked Southlake Carroll Dragons play host to their district rivals. 8th ranked Euless Trinity, as one of the great rivalries in Texas, is renewed. These two programs have played some incredible games in the past, including an iconic game back in 2006. But this is the year where we can definitively say that both programs are fully back to being among the very elite in Texas high school football. And their game on Friday night will almost assuredly decide the district champion in 4-6A, even though it's still only mid-September. Players to watch in this game for Trinity, it's a young man named John Meredith. They call him John John. He's the #1 corner in America in the junior class, a 5-star prospect. Name an elite program from all across the country. He can go play there if he wants to. He's a 6'3", rangy, long corner that has a tremendous skill set. He will have his hands full this week, though, because Southlake Carroll has a dynamite receiving corps, led by Ohio State commit Brock Boyd. He had 33 offers in his own right and has filled up the stat sheet all through his Carroll career. You can watch the game live for free Friday night at 7 on WFA+. Download WFA+ to your smart TV for free. Euless Trinity and Southlake Carroll in a game that means everything to these two communities. After the game, check out Friday Night Football 5th quarter for highlights from all around the area. 10:40 Friday night, only on WFAA+. This week on Friday Night Football, it's the top matchup in the state of Texas in Week 4 as the #1 ranked Southlake Carroll Dragons play host to their district rivals. 8th ranked Euless Trinity, as one of the great rivalries in Texas, is renewed. These two programs have played some incredible games in the past, including an iconic game back in 2006. But this is the year where we can definitively say that both programs are fully back to being among the very elite in Texas high school football. And their game on Friday night will almost assuredly decide the district champion in 4-6A, even though it's still only mid-September. Players to watch in this game for Trinity, it's a young man named John Meredith. They call him John John. He's the #1 corner in America in the junior class, a 5-star prospect.
Theirs is a rivalry that dates back to 2006. Todd Dodge, Steve Lineweaver. The CP Towel at Texas Stadium, a crowd of over 60,000, an infamous and ill-fated fake punt, and an iconic finish, leading Carroll to yet another state championship. 19 years later, these programs are again at the pinnacle of the sport, and many of the names are the same. Dodge, Lineweaver. The next generation again leading their programs to greatness. Tonight, the latest chapter of this historic rivalry in a top 10 clash as #1 Southlake Carroll plays host to 8th ranked Euless Trinity on Friday Night Football. Sponsored by Texas de Brazil. And with that, we welcome you to Dragon Stadium alongside the former Lincoln High and Kansas State linebacker Heckma Harrison. I'm Mike Leslie. Heckma, Carroll versus Trinity just means something a little bit more to Texas high school football fans, especially when they are elite like they are this year.
And you can tell that this crowd knows it as well because of the energy that is in this stadium. It's a little different, Mike. We've walked into plenty of stadiums where there is an anticipation for a game, but not like this.
This game should be outstanding. Last year when they played, it was as well. I'll show you the highlights from last year's matchup that was at Euless Trinity. The Trojans playing host, and this game turned out to be a barn burner. Southlake Carroll would jump all over them early and led this game 35-7 late in the first half. Riley Wormley scoring 3 touchdowns on the day, but TJ Tupou and Trinity would stage a furious comeback. Tupou throwing for 1 touchdown, running for 3, and they got back within 8, but they would get no closer. Angelo, Renda, Brock Boyd, and the Dragons hold them off, a 56-48 win that gave Carroll the district title. This year, Heckma, both teams appear to be maybe even better than they were a year ago. Carroll bringing back 19 of their 22 starters, and Euless Trinity bringing back a ton of talent as well. Tonight should be special.
Look, here's the deal about these two teams. They both know that they got to start fast tonight because of that talent that's out on the field, and they're not taking any of this for granted. For the Trinity Trojans, they got to get behind this massive offensive line and run the ball. They have got to try and keep that offense of the Carroll Dragons off the field. That's what it's going to be tonight, because on the other side, for the guys in green, boy, are they explosive on offense.
Players to watch in this one. First for Euless Trinity, their cornerback, John Meredith. Heckma, he's the #1 cornerback in the country in the junior class.
He looks the part. But also, when you see this kid play, he's so rangy and athletic. He tracks the ball really well, and also a very good tackler. But at 6'3", this kid is too talented.
He is sensational. He's got 40-plus offers. He's 6'3", he's long, he's athletic. He is outstanding, and he is out there on the field right now with his teammates as Euless Trinity is set to do their iconic CP Town.
Go down! Uma filha down, Malawi! Uma filha down, Matei! Uma filha buque, Maia! Meu buque, Maia! Vamos! Go down! Down! Go out! Vai jogador! Mate aqui! Ocular! Tá lutando! Turquia! Vai jogador! Mate aqui! Erra! Tá lutando! Não tem cura! Come on, man! Oh yeah!
It is one of the great scenes in all of Texas high school football. And if that doesn't get you fired up for tonight, Heckma Harrison, I don't know what will.
You don't have a pulse. Golly. Oh, man.
Euless Trinity and Southlake Carroll ready now officially. Let's get you our Southlake Carroll player to watch now. It is their stud wide receiver, Bo Bentley, the Ohio State commit. And Heckma, if we see this matchup head-to-head between him and John Meredith, we will all be spoiled tonight.
Look, I can tell you right now, this kid is one of the wide receivers in the nation that everyone is anticipating seeing him. Brock Boyd is absolutely phenomenal from the wide receiver position. The Ohio State commit, that says it all. Ohio State, they don't get nothing but dogs when it comes down to wide receivers.
I was say, especially at the wide receiver position. They put 2-3 guys in the pros every single year, and Brock Boyd says, hey, let me jump in line with all of that and see if I can't go make myself an NFL wide receiver one day. He is terrific. 33 offers to speak of. He is a special, special talent. The winner tonight of this football game almost assuredly takes the District 4-6A title in 2025. Carroll and Trinity. The rivalry is absolutely back on after this on Friday Night Football. End zone shot. What a catch! Catch a live broadcast of every play of the biggest high school football games. Next week, Glen Rose at Alvarado. Stream the broadcast free next Friday night at 7 on WFAA+.
Thanks, Delkus.
Possibly the most loved and hated man in North Texas. Whatever the weather brings, we bring the Delkus.
WFAA has a legacy of changing the system.
Most recently, we did a story on ankle monitors and how they don't work, and how criminals are committing crimes with ankle monitors. And yeah, there's legislative change coming.
Our 2-year investigation caught the attention of state representatives. Now, it's a crime to cut off ankle monitors.
I want people to see things that we need to hold people accountable for.
What's up, football fans? It's the best time of the year. Every Monday morning, we want to hear what you have to say about the game. Join me, Mark Istook, Glenn Strutch-Smith, and Rebecca Lopez for the Call-In Show, Monday mornings at 11:30.
Sponsored by K-Post Company.
North Texas, it's a hot one today. If you're planning on taking the pups out, make sure to protect their paws. That asphalt is going to be hot.
Thanks, Delkus.
Thanks, Delkus.
Possibly the most loved and hated man in North Texas. Whatever the weather brings, we bring the Delkus.
Discover WFAA Plus, a live 24-hour stream of WFAA news and exclusive digital content, all completely free. Now available on Apple TV, Roku, and Fire TV. Download WFAA Plus.
As we welcome you back to Dragon Stadium, the Southlake Carroll Dragons ready to take the field, coming down out of the stands to walk into their tunnel. Riley Dodge's team 3-0 on the year. Knocked off Byron Nelson last week 52-3 against the team likely to finish third in this district. Just to give you an idea, yeah, it's Southlake Carroll and it's Euless Trinity and everybody else in District 4-6A. They went 15-1 and went to the state championship game a year ago. This year, the prohibitive favorite to win a 6A Division II state championship and the clear-cut #1 team in the state.
I love that. Coming through the stands. This community, I'll tell you what, coming into the game, this has a real college atmosphere about it. Tailgating out here. I mean, literally, the north parking lot is filled.
Atmospheres don't get a whole lot better than this for Texas high school football. Carroll and Trinity kick it off next on Friday Night Football. End zone shot. What a catch! Catch a live broadcast of every play of the biggest high school football games. Next week, Glen Rose at Alvarado. Stream the broadcast free next Friday night at 7 on WFAA+.
Thanks, Delkus.
Thanks, Delkus.
Possibly the most loved and hated man in North Texas. Whatever the weather brings, we bring the Delcus.
WFAA has a legacy of changing the system.
Most recently, we did a story on ankle monitors and how they don't work, and how criminals are committing crimes with ankle monitors. And yeah, there's legislative change coming.
Our 2-year investigation caught the attention of state representatives. Now, it's a crime to cut off ankle monitors.
I want people to see things that we need to hold people accountable for.
What's up, football fans? It's the best time of the year. Every Monday morning, we want to hear what you have to say about the game. Join me, Mark Istook, Glenn Strutch-Smith, and Rebecca Lopez for the Call-In Show, Monday mornings at 11:30.
Sponsored by K-Post Company.
North Texas, it's a hot one today. If you're planning on taking the pups out, make sure to protect their paws. That asphalt is going to be hot.
Thanks, Delkin. Thanks, Delkus.
Possibly the most loved and hated man in North Texas. Whatever the weather brings, we bring the Delcus.
Discover
Friday Night Football, sponsored by Texas de Brazil.
From Dragon Stadium in Southlake, Texas, 12,600 seats in the building. Good luck finding one. A top 10 clash between Carroll and Euless Trinity on deck tonight. Heckman, this one should be a ton of fun.
Yeah, this is, I tell you what, man, we've gone over the game plan and tried to figure out the positives and negatives of this game, and for both of these teams, you can tell that they have built-in advantages. The question is, can Euless Trinity execute theirs to win this game?
Captains making their way to the center of the field now. For Euless Trinity, Gordon Moatow, Caleb Adam, Elijah Smith, and Leonte Chandler, all 4 of them seniors. Bill Meredith, our referee today. For Southlake Carroll, Angelo Renda, William Chen, Brock Boyd, and Jake Lucky.
We have done the toss. Southlake won, we have deferred. Southlake won the toss.
Number 7, Gordon Mahata. Elijah Smith, 31. 57,
Big game
Leonte
tonight.
Chandler.
Big game, week 1 edition, all right? Respect the game, but play the game, okay? Leave all the children stuff out of here when you got to deal with it. Y'all good? Any questions? Good luck. Let's go. Trinity over here.
Steely-eyed focus from Caleb Adam, the senior safety, as Bill Meredith made sure both these teams know. Let's keep it clean tonight. We talked with these 2 head coaches earlier this week, Aaron Lineweaver for Euless Trinity, obviously Riley Dodge for Southlake Carroll, and they both talked about the immense respect that there is, and I would even go as far as to say love between those 2 families, the Dodges and the Lineweavers, and that permeates through their programs. They said, listen, this isn't going to be like that tonight. It's not going to be chippy. They're going to play hard. They're going to be tooth and nail to win this football game. But I think both coaches would tell Bill Meredith, hey, you don't even need to worry about that tonight.
I thought Bill was going to say touch gloves. That's kind of what that felt like, right? I mean, like, you could sell me on all the warm and fuzzies, right? But I saw the look in those guys' eyes.
Right.
And, yeah, ain't a whole lot of love.
As you heard Bill Meredith say, Carroll won the toss and deferred. It will be Trinity ball to start. Gavin Strange to kick it away. Keandre Dixon and Zoe Palmore deep to return for Euless Trinity. Riley Dodge, the head coach for Southlake Carroll, started 11 games on this field as a quarterback. He won all 11. He's coached 41 games here as the head coach. They've won all 41. 52-0 overall at Dragon Stadium is Riley Dodge. Game number 53 for their head coach, underway in Southlake. And the kickoff from Strange into the end zone for a touchback. And the Trinity offense will start at the 25.
And these are the questions that we've been asking all week, Mike, as we talk to both of these coaches. And I think for Coach Lineweaver, he knows he has to come out, and he has to come out and play fast. He's got to get behind his quarterback, though, Mac Lineweaver. And as a coach and son, I'm sure he's been talking his ear off all week long about how big this matchup is.
Mac Lineweaver, the junior starting quarterback, son of the head coach Aaron, grandson of the legendary Steve Lineweaver, hands off to Zoe Palmore, and Palmore's out the near sideline, across the 50 and pushed out of bounds. Parker Harris there to end a 27-yard pickup on the first play from scrimmage for Trinity.
And again, execution up front. They seal the block on the edge, and man, look at the way that Palmore finds all of that green space, and that is what I was talking about, starting fast. And those are the kind of corrections or kind of mistakes that the Carroll Dragons can afford to make against this team.
There you see the starting offense for Euless Trinity, 35.3 points per game here in the early going this season. Wins over Strake Jesuit, Midland Legacy, and Keller Central. Southlake Carroll's defense giving up just 3.3 points per game. Another handoff to Palmore. Again, tried to get out the back door. This time a pickup of 4. Parker Harris quicker on the scene.
Yeah, they obviously saw something in Palmore. Every time he's trying to cut and get to the edge, again, having some success. I look for the Carroll Dragons to adjust here.
Mac Lineweaver, the junior, first year as the starter. And we talked with Riley Dodge about his experience playing quarterback in this rivalry back in the 2006 game, playing for his father, the great Todd Dodge, who is now at Lovejoy. And he said, honestly, I think Mac has got it harder because when I played against Trinity, like, the game was important, as Palmore this time plays a little wildcat quarterback and takes the direct snap, picks up 3. He said, when I was playing, like, the game was important because both teams were really, really good. There's a reason why 60,000 plus people showed up for that game. But he said it didn't have the same rivalry meaning. Now for Mac, he said, listen, Aaron was in our program for a long time talking about Southlake Carroll. He said, Mac grew up wearing green, black, and white. He was going to be playing for us. And then his dad gets the Euless Trinity job back in 2022, and that changed things. So this is a big night for Mac Lineweaver for sure. They rush to the line of scrimmage, and they commit a false start as a result on 3rd and 3.
All of that built-up goodwill, and then you have that penalty to take you back. But back to the interview, I felt like at that moment, Coach was trolling us when he said that, though, right? When he said this, I mean, as far as these two communities, they're only separated by 7 miles, so obviously they knew a whole lot about one another.
Oh, yeah. Oh, yeah. No, they knew about each other for sure, and they were both playing some elite football back in the day. So they definitely knew. 3rd and 8, flags again, another false start.
And also reminding Mac Lineweaver that he grew up wearing green and black.
Bill Theodore, our crew chief today from the Fort Worth Football Officials Association.
And always good to see Bill Theodore. You know you're going to get a good game when Bill is in the building.
One of the very best crews in North Texas, his 7-man crew.
Well, how do you go from a 3rd and manageable to a 3rd and forever?
3rd and 13. The graphic on your screen incorrect. That's fed by the in-house. It is not 4th down. It is 3rd down and 13. They set up the screen. J.T. Harris's first touch. He got out the back door and nearly scooted for a 1st down. Tripped up before he got that last surge he needed. He picks up 8 of the 13, and it will be 4th down and 5.
Well, and JT looked like he had a ton of room out there. His blocking was set up well. You see Toa Katoa out in space. That's a 393-pound man coming your way. I suggest you get under the carpet.
Toa Katoa, 6'6", 393, an SMU commit. And we've got an early timeout here as Trinity's going to talk this over a little bit more. Would they dare call a fake punt in this situation just for nostalgia's sake?
Well, let's make it interesting. It is Friday night.
Over 1,300 of you with us right now on the WFAA YouTube channel. Please click the like button, click the subscribe button, as we will bring you a high school football game every week here on WFAA Plus and on the WFAA YouTube channel. Take a look at the YouTube comments. John Lasker saying, dang, Trinity is big. Yes, they are. Yeah. Not just Toa Katoa up front, but Kiloa Wolfgram. 6 foot 375. Leonte Chandler, their senior left tackle, quick tackle, because they will exchange for strength. They've got a quick tackle and guard, a strong tackle and guard, and they will flip-flop them with the strength of the formation. But Leonte Chandler, their quick tackle, 6'6", 300 pounds. They are big, and they are keeping the offense on the field. I believe we are back up. Apologies, we had a power cut out there of our signal. We're having power cut out all over the Metroplex tonight. Lovejoy and Anna had to move their game from Lovejoy to Anna. Anyway, it's 1st and 10 after Carroll did hit a deep ball from Angelo Renda to Brock Boyd for a pickup of 26. So 1st and 10, the handoff up the middle for Davis Penn, and he's inside the 10, close to another first down.
And again, inside run for Davis Penn. And that's this defensive line for the Trinity Trojans, man. They cannot get gashed like that. Big gain here, and all of that was set up with that big play by Brock Boyd.
2nd down and a yard. Renda, the senior quarterback. They really like the way he uses his 4 weapons. He's going to look to one right now, looking end zone in single coverage, out of bounds and incomplete, looking for Brody Knowles.
And you see what they here in the red zone. trying to stretch this defense out, but going at the edges right here out in the corner of the end zone. You want to hit that big bite. 6'4" is Brody Knowles.
So it's 3rd down and a yard now. Davis Penn on the handoff. Into the pile, it will be enough to move the chains.
Love the play calling to start things off here. Staying in a rhythm and balance is this offense for Coach Dodge. I look for them to try and attack on the outside and get something with their big #1 receiver, Brock Boyd.
1st and goal for Carroll. Ball at the 7-yard line for Angelo Renda. Handoff, Penn again, hunting for a hole to the left side, reaching. They're going to mark him just short. They've got him just short inside the 1-yard line. They announced touchdown in-house, but he is just a hair shy. You see him reach there for the goal line, but he comes up a half a yard short. It's 2nd and goal.
Yeah, it looked like he was carrying guys with him.
I got to imagine they'll give it right back to him. And they do. Renda stood up and driven back. And it will be 3rd and goal. The 11th game all-time between these two teams. Southlake Carroll leading the all-time series 7-3. We talked about it off the top of the telecast, that 2006 game, an iconic moment in Texas high school football history. A 22-21 Carroll win in the 2nd round of the playoffs in front of 60,000 plus at Texas Stadium. 3rd and goal. Renda gonna follow a blocker to the end zone. Gets blown up right at the goal line, but he scores. Touchdown, Southlake Carroll.
And that's just incredible play design. They use David Penn as a lead blocker around the corner. And like you said, boy, he scored, but boy, he paid for it.
Now they're throwing a flag way after the fact. A Trinity assistant coach way out on the field arguing. Sounds like we're going to have a dead ball foul after the play on Southlake Carroll. Bill Theodore still sorting things out with his crew. It'll be on Trinity, on the Trinity bench. So Southlake Carroll is going to kick off from 15 yards further forward after this PAT from Gavin Strange.
Well, that's as clean of a beginning of a game as you've seen, man, from the Carroll Dragons. Other than that stop at the 1-yard line.
Renda with a very strong leg, a very talented kicker going to Duke, puts through the extra point, and it's 7-0 Southlake Carroll early, mid-first quarter on Friday Night Football.
End zone shot. What a catch! Catch a live broadcast of every play of the biggest high school football games. Next week, Glen Rose at Alvarado. Stream the broadcast free next Friday night at 7 on WFAA+.
North Texas, it's a hot one today. If you're planning on taking the pups out, make sure to protect their paws. That asphalt is going to be hot.
Thanks, Delkin.
Possibly the most loved and hated man in North Texas. Whatever the weather brings, we bring the Delkus.
So Southlake Carroll strikes on their opening drive after a 4th down stop of Euless Trinity on what was otherwise a promising starting possession for the Trojans. And now, because of the penalty, they'll kick off from plus territory. I've always been a proponent of a Onside kick in this scenario, because if you give it up to him at the 35, why not? And that's exactly what Trinity will do. Carroll will do. Was that touched by Trinity? If it was, that's Carroll football.
It was. It was.
Southlake Carroll comes out of the pile with the football. The recovery by Robbie Ladd, and they pay off the penalty. Bill Theodore's going to talk this over with his crew. I think they need to make certain that that ball was touched by Trinity before it was secured by Southlake Carroll, because it did not get the requisite 10 yards. It got 9 of the 10 yards it needed to. This will be a really good look at it.
No, it was touched by
Carroll. Oh, I don't know. Let's see what Bill Theodore says here. Southlake Carroll football.
Wow.
It's a spot where it's absolutely worth reminding everybody there is not the benefit of replay in Texas high school football unless it is the 12 state championship games at AT&T Stadium. With the benefit of replay, they may have seen that differently, because I don't think Trinity touched that ball before Carroll recovered it. Certainly not before Carroll touched it for the first time. But it will stay Carroll football, and they're going to go for a jugular shot right out of the gates, and it's a touchdown pass to Brody Knowles. 2 touchdowns in 9 seconds for Southlake Carroll.
And the Trojans defense just lost track of Brody Knowles as he's running by himself into the end zone. It doesn't get any easier than that for Angelo Renda.
Wide open. The 36-yard touchdown hookup comes at the 5:28 mark of the first quarter. The Angelo Renda touchdown run came at 5:37. And the onside kick after the penalty on Trinity leads directly to 7 points for Southlake Carroll, and an absolute gut punch for Trinity to start this football game.
Unbelievable. And it all started from that onside kick. You know, I know they don't have the benefit of going back to replay, but that was big for Euless Trinity, as it looked like from us on the replay that it was definitely touched by a Carroll Dragon first.
A lot of the comments are saying that as well. Carroll touched it. Southlake touched that ball before Trinity touched it.
Wow.
A pivotal play that very quickly tilts the balance in favor of the #1 team in the state. Keandre Dixon, Tayshawn Ethan deep to return for Trinity, as now Aaron Lineweaver's team has to find an answer.
Eerily familiar to their battle last year, and Southlake jumps all over them.
Does Trinity have an answer like they did a year ago? Southlake jumped out to a 35-7 lead in that game before Trinity nearly reeled them all the way in what was a 56-48 final. Nowhere near as big a deficit right now for Trinity. So still plenty of time in this football game, and I don't think in any way, shape, or form, if you're Aaron Lineweaver, do you think you need to get out of your game plan at this point?
No, not currently. I think you have to get back behind your running game.
Yeah.
You know, they were making a ton of headway before they started having those penalties that backed them up 10 yards and made 3rd and 3, 3rd and 13. I mean, it was a gamble to go for it on 4th down, boy, but it backfired.
On 1st and 10, the handoff to Keandre Dixon to the near sideline. Good pursuit. Taken down by Taven Coons, a gain of just 2.
And what they're trying to do is stress them out on the edges right now. And great job by Coons, just making sure he doesn't allow him to catch that edge.
Disorder in the comments says Duncanville is #1 in the state. Y'all better stop playing, WFAA. They're not our rankings, guys. The official Texas high school football state rankings have Southlake Carroll as the #1 team in the state.
Hey, you better tell them. Don't play with them. Don't play with Duncanville.
Up the middle, nowhere to go. Jake Lucky in the middle of it all. Look at that man wearing #0.
How do you move that? You don't move him.
6'8", 250. As Riley Dodge said to us earlier this week, go ahead, go. I know it was your favorite line of the week.
he was born with good bat level. And you know, I used to say the trash can full of dirt, right? That's what I say about a guy like that. I call him a Walmart parking pole, but this kid, man, is an immovable object.
3rd down and 9. Will Mac Lineweaver go to the air at a shotgun? The play action fake, stepping up in the pocket, chased from behind and taken down. Carroll's defense. William Lines with the sack. Lucky there as well, and it's 4th down.
One of my questions to you, and we were talking about this game, said, Mike, if they get behind early, can they go to the air? It's what my question was. And so far on that attempt, boy, this Carroll Dragons defense, man, they covered that pass up pretty good.
4th and 11, and Trinity will have to kick it away. Sir Mims, the punter for Euless Trinity. Parker Harris deep to return, and it'll be a delay game on Euless Trinity as the play clock went to 0.
This is a pivotal possession right here for the Trojans, because if you allow that 21-point lead here, that's when your game plan absolutely changes.
This game isn't even 9 minutes old. Coming after him, he does get the punt away. There will be a flag. They hit the punter. It will matter here whether this is roughing or running into the kicker, but there will be a penalty here against Carroll as Sir Mims hit the deck. It is a personal foul.
Boy, big mistake made.
On what was 4th and 16, but as a personal foul, it is an automatic 1st down. That is tantamount to a turnover.
Yes.
For Southlake Carroll. They just gave the football back to Euless Trinity.
And so if I'm Trinity, man, I'm just wiping the sweat off my brow and telling my offensive linemen, like, come on, guys, we got to go back to work.
So Trinity with fresh life here. 1st and 10 from the 34. Handoff JT Harris. Bouncing off of tacklers. Out across the 40. Give him 7 on the play.
And that's what you get from that 5'9", 187-pound dynamo. Not very big, but look at him pinballing off of these defenders. Hard to bring this young man down, and everyone in 6A knows about number 24, JT Harris.
Trinity, a proud program, 3-time state champions under the legendary Steve Lineweaver, 2005, 2007, 2009. Back into the top 10 this year for the first time in a while. Up the middle, Harris bounces off a would-be tackler, galloping his way into Carroll territory, inside the 40, 21 on the pickup.
What a tough runner. Look at this replay. Mike, look, he is not taking no for an answer. He's running to the back of his offensive lineman. Hard to arm tackle this guy, man. He is stepping through and over.
Give him 23, in fact, on the carry. 1st and 10 at the 36. The deepest penetration of the day so far for the Trinity offense, in a spot where they absolutely need an answer. Harris again, up the middle, met in the hole by Parker Harris. A pickup of 3. We talked about Toa Katoa, the young man that plays strong guard for the Trinity Trojans. 6'6", 393, a 3-star prospect on his way to SMU. He is part of the Katoa family legacy. Fotu Katoa, all the way back in 1982, was the first Tongan player in Texas high school football history. His brothers, Sammy and Paul, also played at Trinity, all three of them wearing the iconic number 85 for this Trojans program, and they set the precedent as the swing pass here goes to Trent Turner, and he's close to first down yardage. It'll be third down and short, call it 3rd and 3. Those three Katoas kind of set the trend here in the Euless Trinity program in the Euless, Texas area. Toa is the son of Tony Katoa, a nephew of Fatu Katoa and Sammy and Paul. Katoa just continuing that legacy here at Euless Trinity, and they will run behind him all night long. Harris again on the carry, cut down, maybe a gain of a yard, and heck, it's going to be 4th and 2 here.
Gosh, I think it's automatic that you go for it here, Mike. Automatic. I think too far for a field goal, and you're definitely not going to give them the ball back this close.
They feel like the range for Jaden Boy is 35 to 40, so this is outside of his range. This would be a 45 or 46-yard field goal. Definitely not punting the ball here from the plus 28-yard line. So no question, it's 4-down territory, and it will come on the first play of the second quarter. 14-0 Carroll after 1. Angelo Renda with a touchdown run and a touchdown pass as Carroll paid off the surprise onside. But Trinity with an opportunity at a big 4th down after this on Friday Night Football.
WFAA has a legacy of changing the system.
Most recently, we did a story on ankle monitors and how they don't work, and how criminals are committing crimes with ankle monitors. And yeah, there's legislative change coming.
Our 2-year investigation caught the attention of state representatives. Now, it's a crime to cut off ankle monitors.
I want people to see things that we need to hold people accountable for.
Back at Dragon Stadium, 4th and 2 for Euless Trinity. Down 14-0. They need the 26-yard line to move the chains. A massive spot, a huge inflection point in this football game.
And you see the adjustment by Carroll. 4-down lineman up front, a 5th guy in the box.
Harris on the carry, flags again.
Wow.
Another false start on Euless Trinity.
Gosh.
And Harris had the first down.
Oh my. Oh man.
Viliami Finau called for the false start. And now Trinity will have to convert on a 4th and 7. That makes 5 penalties already today.
Yikes.
On Euless Trinity.
I'm sorry. And just imploding at the wrong moments. Wow. If Mac Lineweaver, if he throws here, Mike, he's got to release that ball a lot sooner. He's holding on to it too long.
4th and 7, play action fake, and he's blown up immediately. Ball is out, recovered by Carroll. Whether it was a fumble or not, it doesn't matter, it's Dragon football.
That's got to be out.
Wow, he clearly did not see the defender coming down on him, man. It was, I thought the play was whistled dead the way that he turned.
There's a player down on the field.
Oh man.
Looks like it might be Keandre Dixon for Euless Trinity.
That was
Beg your pardon, number 3, not number 4, Zoe Palmore for the Trinity Trojans, that is down right now, being tended to by the athletic training staff, John Burnett, Olivia Bartlett, Saad Rahabali.
He took a shot. He took
a shot, and so did Oh, beg your pardon. It was, they had put Palmer in there as the quarterback. He's their backup quarterback, and he is the more athletic of the two. They will use him in that kind of spot, and that was where he was in playing quarterback on that 4th down play, and he got blown up.
Yeah, he ran right into big number 88, Crawford Taylor, and they just made a sandwich.
Him and Parker Harris were the two that just crunched Zoe Palmer. Whew. One more look at it here. He turned right into Parker Harris.
Yikes, what a shot.
This Carroll defense has come flying out of the gates.
They have a sideline warning on the Southlake Carroll beach. That's their first of the game. It's first down.
That is merely a warning the first time. It will be a penalty if it happens again for Carroll.
But you get the 4th down on your first drive.
Yeah.
That backfires on you. You get seemingly the punt where, you know, you call for roughing the punter, things go your way, and man, another 4th down where you're not able to convert.
So now can Trinity's defense make a stop? The swing pass, nice move on the far sideline by Caden Mackey. He's got the first down and then some. Inside the 40 and knocked out of bounds.
Oh my, what a move by Mackey. I mean, he literally he shakes John Meredith. He's trying to close in. You see him right here, number 9 approaching, and what a move to get back to the outside, because John Meredith was the furthest man on the outside, which opened up that big play.
So 1st and 10 for Carroll in plus territory, just like that. 22 on the pickup. They'll do a swing pass again, this time to the near side for Luke Jacquemart. He's got 10 more. Close to a first down at the very least. Give 9 on the play. It'll be 2nd and 1.
Man, another big gain for this Dragons offense, and they're just throwing that ball to the outside and making this Euless Trinity squad turn and run.
Renda's going to run for it. First down and then some. Angelo Renda. Flags on the play in the vicinity of a hold on a wide receiver.
Again, another great play design, but they're outflanked on that right side, and that's easy. And you can tell right away, Angelo Renda, design run, he sees that.
This one looks like it's coming back, though.
Holding on the offense. 10-yard penalty from the spot of the foul. Remains 2nd down.
So it was 2nd and 1. It'll turn into about 2nd and 4, it appears. Because the hold happened a good ways down the field. Trinity's got to come up with a stop.
Yeah, they have to. This is, you're in that territory here in this first half. Again, if the Dragons are up by 21, this is danger zone.
The 9-time state champion Southlake Carroll Dragons. On 2nd and 4, straight forward with Brooks Biggers, and he will have enough to move the chains. They feel like this is their best chance at number 10 in quite some time. Heck, they've gone to the title game a couple times now in the last 5 years. But this team that went to the title game a year ago, everybody kind of felt like they were a year early.
Yeah.
Now they've got everybody back. 19 of their 22 starters back on this team, and they are loaded for bear here in 2025.
And that's what they feel good about. That experience that they had come back.
More whistles at the snap, and this time it's going to be a timeout called by Riley Dodge.
Timeout. Carroll. It's their first timeout of the half.
Riley Dodge, the head coach of the Southlake Carrolls, of course, played quarterback for the Dragons back in the early 2000s, won a state championship as the starter in 2006. He is on 98 career wins as the head coach here at Southlake Carroll. A victory tonight would give him 99, and he is verging on a little bit of history, Hegma Harrison. If he wins tonight and wins their next game, which is against Timber Creek 6 days from now, he would match Gary Joseph as the fastest in Texas high school football history to get to 100 career victories in year 8 and game 5. And as he joked with me earlier this week when we were talking about this, and he wasn't sure, candidly, 98 is our best guess. He wasn't sure if it was 97 or 98.
Yeah.
The records get a little bit fuzzy, and he's like, yeah, the COVID year cost me a couple of games.
Yeah.
Like, he might already be there if not for a couple of games that they had canceled during the COVID season. But at least as best our records can show, and as best we can count, he is at 98-9 in his career. And they've got 1st and 10, a little pop pass here to Brock Boyd, and he is ended quickly. Well defended by Gordon Moatow, the senior linebacker.
Yeah, great job by Moatow coming up from the linebacker position because he had to snuff that out. It was blocked pretty good, but they had one guy to account for, and Moatow was him, and he got the stop.
So 2nd down and 11 here. Best chance the Trinity defense has had so far tonight to maybe make something happen and get off the field. They are within Gavin Strange's field goal range, one of the better kickers in the country. Signed to Duke, had a handful of other offers, the number 6 kicker in the senior class. He hit a 47-yarder a year ago, so they are definitely in his range as the carry goes to Davis Penn, a pickup of 3.
Inside handoff number 3, Davis Penn.
A helmet came off there for Nathan Domaraki.
His helmet came off, and another player from Euless Trinity had his helmet in his hand. And the coaches are like, well, okay, I think that's a penalty.
There was no flag, and it's 3rd down and 8. They've got to get to the 12 to move the chains. Renda looking back at head coach Riley Dodge. He calls the offense. Renda setting up the screen to Penn. Penn pushed out of bounds right at that 12-yard line. Beg your pardon, at the, well, it's very, very close. At the 12, and they're saying 1st down, move the chains. Just barely got it.
Yeah, way too close for even a measurement. I mean, he was right at the sticks.
So 1st and 10 at the 12 for Carroll. Penn slipped, flag down.
Yeah, I think we got a holding penalty.
Inside handoff number 3, Davis Penn. Sherman's on the spot. Penalty marker on the play.
About 2,000 of you with us right now on the WFAA YouTube channel. Please click the like button, click the share button. Send this feed around to your friends in the Southlake. Wow.
Not a big penalty.
They are Onsen, the junior nose tackle. And that's going to set up 1st and goal at the 4-yard line. But yes, please share this feed around with your friends as we just crease that 2,000 mark. And let your friends know in these 2 communities that they can tune in tonight for free for the top game in the state of Texas. Biggers in there at running back. Renda's going to keep it himself and he'll score. Angelo Renda with his 2nd touchdown run of the night. 20-0 Southlake Carroll.
You gotta give Renda credit, man. On this option play, he snatches it, and the entire Trojan defense converges on the running back. Biggers, they forgot about the man with the ball, though. Angela walking into the end zone.
Southlake Carroll. Angelo Renda, a pair of rushing scores, a passing touchdown as well. And Carroll on their home field has jumped all over Euless Trinity tonight on Friday Night Football.
Thanks, Delkus.
Thanks, Delkus.
Possibly the most loved and hated man in North Texas. Whatever the weather brings, we bring the Delkus.
Discover WFAA Plus, a live 24-hour stream of WFAA news and exclusive digital content, all completely free. Now available on Apple TV, Roku, and Fire TV. Download WFAA Plus.
The Southlake Carroll Dragons, the prohibitive #1 team in the state, showing it so far tonight. Angelo Renda with a pair of touchdown runs. They had the surprise onside. A couple of big 4th down stops defensively, and they have jumped all over Euless Trinity. Another kickoff into the end zone from Gavin Strange. And Heckman, the Trinity Trojans will have to come back just like they did a year ago in this matchup. They trailed in that game 35-7 midway through the second quarter, so it's not as bad as it was a year ago.
I guess.
But they do need to get started in a hurry.
That's Mike Leslie's glass half full perspective on what's going on here. I think for Coach Lineweaver, man, he has got to be frustrated watching his team shoot themselves in the foot with those offsides, well, the procedure penalties. This happened to them twice on 4th down.
Yeah. A couple of big 3rd downs, too, on that first drive. They'll start at the 25. Harris, the stud running back, twisting his way through the defense, getting some help from his friends. He's got a 1st down and then some. Flag on the play.
Yeah, he's just
thrown in from the far side as his helmet came off, and Harris, is he hurt?
Oh, can't lose that guy. Wow, he's carrying him. Let's see what the penalty is.
So tack 15 more on top of the J.T. Harris 11-yard carry. And very quickly, Trinity is into Southlake Carroll territory at the 48-yard line.
Big number 74, Tyson Butler, coming in and carrying J.T. Harris to the sticks. We're going to get it done one way or another.
Another delay of game? Yes, indeed. They had one on a punt earlier.
Wow. Well, you mix in a little bit of good with a little bit of bad.
Their 7th penalty of the night. First and 15. Little misdirection. Still going to midfield. Jaden Hollins, the fullback, with a nice run.
And Mike, as a former quarterback, I gotta ask, man, at what point do you say, we gotta start throwing this thing? At least a little bit to back this defense off, because you could see from the Dragons, they're still crowding the line of scrimmage.
Yeah. They're going to see tight boxes all night until they give Carroll a reason to back off. They'll go to the air here. Lineweaver, far sideline, knocked away. Good coverage on the far sideline. Taven Coons defending Jalen Donaldson, and it's 3rd and a dozen.
Well, I called for it. And here's an attempt here by Lineweaver, but just a smidge off. That's great coverage, too, on the back end by Coons.
Trinity 0 for 3 on 3rd down tonight. They need the 38-yard line to move the sticks. Lineweaver tipped in the air, and Lineweaver caught it. Lineweaver's got the football. And he'll push his way forward to the 44-yard line.
Wow.
That will make it 4th down and about 7. William Lines is the one who tipped the pass as he came on the delayed blitz. It ricocheted off a couple of bodies, and you see there in the middle of the pile, it's the quarterback, Mac Lineweaver, that catches his own pass. He did not pick up enough for his dad to pull the trigger on another 4th down try, and Sir Mims is on to punt it away.
Is it going to be that kind of night? Yeah, got to call a timeout here.
Look at it, they almost got another delay of game.
Wow. 2 down, you still got 5 minutes left here in this first half.
Friday Night Football is sponsored by Texas Day Brazil. Celebrate with us. Special occasions deserve unforgettable experiences. From intimate date nights to large gatherings, Texas Day Brazil is the perfect place to celebrate life's milestones in style. 5:38, second quarter. Southlake Carroll with 3 touchdowns courtesy of their quarterback Angelo Renda. 2 on the ground and a 36-yard touchdown pass to Brody Knowles when they went with a full-on jugular shot, Heckma, right after the onside kick following their first touchdown. And they have kept their foot on the gas. Now another defensive stop, and Sir Mims will have to punt it away to Parker Harris. Line drive kick into the end zone.
Well, with the win, that thing carried, but here he's down by 21. 5:31 to go, and I tell you what, Coach Dodge has this offense clicking no matter what he asks for, whether it's in the run game or the pass game. They're gashing this Trojans defense. They have to be better at limiting those big yards.
The one difference this time around, if memory serves, I think this is the first time tonight that Carroll hasn't started with really good field position. They had the big 4th down stop that led to the first touchdown drive, certainly terrific field position after the surprise onside. So yeah, they started at their own 47, then at the Trinity 36, their 3rd drive, they started at their own 44. So now here at their own 20, far more normal field position. So they'll have to drive the length of the field this time, which they haven't had to so far tonight. Swing pass to Boyd. Pushed out of bounds. Maybe 4 on the game.
You know, we came in and we anticipated this matchup from these 2 players, John Meredith and Brock Boyd. So far, man, this has been the Brock Boyd show.
Brock Boyd, you sure it's not Bo Bentley, like I said in the...
It's okay. It's okay.
I still had the Salina quarterback on my mind for some reason when we started the show tonight.
I don't blame you.
2nd and 6, Renda. Looking far sideline. Caden Mackey. Looks like he's maybe just a hair shy of the line to gain. It'll be 3rd and a yard.
Well, great job by number 10, Sir Mims, tracking on the outside in the tackle. It's going to bring up a big-time 3rd down. If this Trojans defense can get off the field, that would be a victory in itself in this first half.
Especially considering the fact that Carroll has the football to start the 3rd quarter.
Yeah.
This is danger zone for Euless Trinity. Again, they made a remarkable comeback a year ago in this game, trailed 35-7, and ended up losing a 56-48 final. Renda on the carry, strung out, falls forward. They marked him short. He is short of the line to gain. It's going to be 4th and about half a yard.
Look at the look on the face of Angelo Renda at the officials. He's like, are you sure?
He's not leaving the field. They're going to go for it here.
Renda thought he picked that one up. Well, he was rolling there at the end. Great mark by the official.
Gutty call here from Riley Dodge at his own 29-yard line. 13 on the play clock. Renda looking to Dodge.
They're gonna snap this.
Down to 4 on the play clock. They're trying to draw him off. There is a flag. It's going to be a false start, and they'll punt it away.
5-yard penalty.
Remains fourth down.
Mike
Carroll
Leslie
tried to draw him off.
Mike Leslie, forever the gambler. Would you have gone for that one?
No. Up 21-0. What's the value?
No, not at all. It sure did look once Renda looked over at the sidelines that was going to be the call.
He tried to sell it with the hard count and throwing those hands out like he was going to catch the snap. But Euless Trinity, very importantly, with their first defensive stop of the day. John Meredith deep to return this punt. Trinity leaves their defense out on the field. They come after that one, nearly got to the punt. Meredith will let it bounce, and it will roll to the 22. 54 yards on the punt for Zach Hayes, the senior for Southlake Carroll.
Boy, I sure was looking forward to an opportunity to see that talent on that punt return.
Yeah.
Oh, man, come on now. It showed me something.
Disorder in the YouTube comments saying, I would have went for it.
Thank you, Disorder.
4:01 on the clock here in this first half. Euless Trinity has been punched in the mouth so far tonight. Can they find an answer? Can they get points before halftime and tighten this thing up? JT Harris on the carry, trying to get to the outside. He will, and he's got the corner, and he's got a first down.
Boy, you've seen JT just continue to grind it out. He's been picking up some big yards and finally breaking off one.
12 yards on the pickup gives him 7 carries for 54 yards so far tonight. He has been the vast majority of the offense. Zoe Palmore, 4 carries, 22 yards, and that's basically it. Lineweaver's got a few completions. In total, 97 yards of offense so far tonight. Harris looking for more. Good patience. Worked off his blocker and got to the outside again, and another nice pickup. And a good start to the drive here for Trinity.
Yeah, if nothing else with this drive for Trinity, it's keep the Carroll offense over here drinking Gatorade. If you can run this out with a few first downs. Regardless of how it ends, give your defense a break, because those guys have been having to work overtime here in the first half.
2nd and 4. Harris again, over the top and undercut. William Lines grabbed a hold of him and brought him down, and a couple of Trinity Trojans down at the bottom of the pile there.
Well, that's old.
Cohen Fia and Jaden Hollins both were slow to get up. That's back to their feet now.
That's old school football right there, boy. ISO in the middle. It feels like 1995 all over again. Another big third down.
3rd and 3. They have to get to the 44 to move the chains. Whistles at the snap. Timeout, Riley Dodge. Southlake Carroll, the #1 team in the state in 6A. The only team in the top 10 playing another team in the top 10. These Euless Trinity Trojans you see there on the screen. Duncanville with a big one tonight at Waxahachie. Those 2 games, certainly the 2 biggest games in 6A this week. North Crowley with a rather surprising loss to Rockwall a night ago. On their home field, no less. The first regular season loss in the Ray Gates era.
Boy, that was huge. And I think, was it 33 in a row for North Crowley? If I'm quoting that correctly.
At home or overall?
Yeah, overall.
I think it's more than that in the regular season. I think it's a lot. Oh, I'm sorry. You're saying just.
Yeah.
I'd have to go back and tabulate. That's it. So all 16 last year.
Yeah.
Well, so 19. 19 in a row overall, because they lost, obviously, the state semifinal against Duncanville to finish off the 23 season. 16-0 a year ago and then 3-0 to start this season. 3rd down and 3. To the air they go. Lineweaver on target. Enough for the first down. Complete to Tayshawn Eaton.
Well, there you go. Question now has been answered by Lineweaver. Great anticipation on that throw. Great first down pickup by Tayshawn Eaton.
First and 10 at the 46. Clock down to 3:04 in the half. Harris again, right up the middle. JT Harris to the second level and into Carroll territory.
Oh, man.
14 yards on the pickup.
Mike, when he gets this ball, he's already going 100 miles per hour. I'm saying woohoo before he even gets to the line of scrimmage because of how fast he's taking off.
Clock down under 3 minutes. Trinity with just the 1 timeout remaining. Carroll also with only 1 timeout remaining. Again, the Dragons have the football to start the 3rd quarter. Saw a comment asking if JT Harris has any offers, as now the handoff goes to his backup number 4, Keandre Dixon. No gain on the play. In fact, a loss of a yard. Yes, he is a Texas State commit, but he did have 15 offers in total. Boise State, Baylor, Texas State, of course, on that list as well. Talented young man, 3-star prospect. And we have seen some of his gifts tonight. 10 carries for 75 yards. And he's back in there after getting a 1-play breather for 2nd down and 10.
I keep looking at this 5'9", 187. It just doesn't make sense for the way that this kid runs.
2-minute timeout.
Something we got to get used to in Texas high school football.
Everybody's still getting accustomed to it. Yes, right. It just came into vogue in college football a year ago. Now the UIL adopting it as well, as the UIL works off of the NCAA Division I rule book. Different from most states around the country. Most states go with the NFHS rule book, but Texas high school football, knowing, I have to imagine on some level, that they're preparing a lot of these kids to go play in college, says we're going to use the college rule book and roll with that. 2,100 of you with us right now on the WFAA YouTube channel. Let us know in the comments where you're watching from tonight. If you've got a favorite player, perhaps a favorite cheerleader on either of these two squads. We'll have the halftime show for you coming up in just a little bit. Sponsored by the Children's Health Andrews Institute, the Trinity Trojan Band under the direction of Chris Kanicki, the THS Color Guard led by Cameron Hewell, the Carroll Dragon Band, the Southlake Carroll Color Guard, Ken Johnson and James Thomas, the directors of those 2 units, all 4 to take the field in 2 minutes worth of game time here on Friday Night Football. Before that, though, 2nd and 10 for Trinity. Swing pass. Read well by the Carroll defense. Tayshawn Eaton only able to pick up 2.
Well, you talk about being snuffed out. That's exactly what happened on that one. They get him on the outside, but that Carroll Dragon defense a lot quicker than they look for a minimal gain.
3rd and 8. They need the 30-yard stripe for a first down. Lineweaver to the air. Can he make a man miss? Yes. Can he get out of the pocket? Yes. Look at Mac Lineweaver go. Can he get the first down? Yes. To the sideline and the 29-yard line, and he moves the chains with a $1.18 to play.
This is highlight reel stuff right here for the quarterback, Mac Lineweaver. He avoids 1. He avoids 2, 3. Here's 4, breaking the guy's ankles on his way to the first down.
What a play by Mac Lineweaver.
How many times was he in trouble and got out of?
Unbelievable. And it's 1st and 10 Trinity at the 29-yard line. Nolini in the YouTube comments says that they're watching from Hawaii tonight. Appreciate you being with us. 1st and 10, Lineweaver sets up the screen. Cohen Fia makes the catch and breaks a tackle. Fia inside the 20. Close to another first down.
And if nothing else, what a confidence builder right here for the Trojans. Watching from Hawaii, I am jealous.
Right? You've got a better spot than us, although I would say this, we've got probably the second best spot, because this is pretty cool. 1st and 10, swing pass far side. Breaking the tackle for a moment was Donaldson. Give him 5 on the play, down to 37 seconds. Aaron Lineweaver considering a timeout? Not yet. Trinity's gonna have to hustle here, down to 30. Lineweaver getting him back to the line of scrimmage. Handoff, JT Harris. Harris breaking to the outside. JT Harris to the pylon. He's in.
They called him out. They called him out.
Oh, no, they're going to say he was out of bounds. Out of bounds at the 5-yard line, and Harris can't believe it.
Oh,
I can't believe it.
I can't either. How? Like he was walking chalk.
Wow. This is a great look at it here.
Wow.
I will say this, the line judge, Durwood Manley, spotted it immediately. There was no hesitation. He was on it and spotted the 5-yard line, and nobody had a better angle at it than he did. So I'm inclined to trust him more so than our camera from all the way over here. Either way, it's 1st and goal from the 5. Harris again. Stacked up. 13 seconds left, and Trinity will use their final timeout. And now here's the big question. With no timeouts left for Trinity, can you run the football again? I think you have to throw it now.
Yeah, you cannot run the ball here.
Unless you're certain, unless you got a play call where you know we're scoring here.
Yeah, if you get tackled, it's going to be a hard time getting back to the line of scrimmage to try and run another one. So here you are, 2nd and 5, and if you play it right, you may get an opportunity at 2 pass plays.
You should have enough time for at least 2 plays.
Yes.
And if you really hustled, maybe all 3 downs that you have remaining. I will say this, if they wanted to run the football, and they just said in this timeout, hey, we're going to call this run play, everybody be prepared to immediately get to the line of scrimmage and clock it and give yourself 4th down to try and score. But you would be really running a risk to do that with 13 seconds left.
You go 375, 393, 280, and 300 pounds on that offensive line.
2nd and goal from the 4. Lineweaver to the air. Fade pattern. Corner of the end zone. Incomplete, but a flag.
Now I think you got to run it.
Because, now you'd be like, this is pass interference like we think it's going to be. It would be 1st and goal at the 1.
Pass interference on the defense, number 11. The ball is cleared in the end zone by where the ball is placed at the 10-yard line.
Yes, at the 2-yard line. 1st and goal at the 2. Do you run it here? 8 seconds on the clock. Lineweaver in shotgun. He'll go to the air again. Slant pattern on target for the touchdown. Jalen Donaldson. And Trinity has found pay dirt.
This drive belongs to 2 guys, and that's Mac Lineweaver and JT Harris. And boy, I tell you what, you get an opportunity if you're Jalen Donaldson to finish the deal. But what a jolt of confidence this has to give the Euless Trinity Trojans.
And with 5 seconds on the clock in the first half, low snap, that's blocked. That can be returned for 2 points. This is danger zone for Carroll, and they will not track him down. All the way for 2, Gavin Strange. Southlake Carroll adds 2 to their tally right before halftime, and it's 23-6.
Well, Mike, so much for all the warm and fuzzies we were just having about that drive.
Carroll steals the momentum right back.
I think that's
Gavin Strange, who is himself the kicker for Carroll, but also a starting safety with the scoop and score. And he brings it all the way back for 2.
I told you I love that guy.
What is Jake Lucky doing right now?
Well, he was hurt on the play. I think he was the guy. I don't know this, but I thought he was the guy that may have blocked that.
Unbelievable.
Yes, sir.
So with 5 seconds in the half, it's 23-6, which matters, by the way, because it keeps it a 3-score game.
Unbelievable. You do all of that heavy lifting and get into the end zone, all for it to turn into points for the Dragons.
It is a 95-yard scoop and score for Gavin Strange to tack 2 points on the board after the blocked PAT. The snap was low. And yes, at the bottom of all of that was Jake Lucky, who blocked the PAT. Came crashing in there, all 5'8", 250 of them.
What an athlete.
Blocked the PAT, and then speaking of athletes, Gavin Strange on one bounce just caught that thing and took off, and nobody for Trinity had a chance. So 5 seconds in the half. Line drive kickoff into the end zone. What a bizarre turn of events that was, because you do not see that often. But it does keep it a 3-score game. After all of that work that Trinity did to, right until that moment, you thought, cut it back to a 2-score football game. And now the lead is 17, just like that.
But that was the drive, absolutely, that they needed. However, going into half, feeling like they have a little bit of momentum, even with giving up the 2 points, confidence-wise, I think you found something there with Mac Lineweaver in the passing game. And we came into this game asking ourselves, could they convert? Could they pass if the running game is stuffed? And they answered those questions there with seconds in the first half.
Angelo Renda takes a knee, and the first half is over. 23-6. Southlake Carroll with the advantage on their home field. An impressive half of football, Heckma Harrison, from Riley Dodge's team. What is your takeaway from what we saw from the #1 team in the state in that first half?
Well, missed opportunities, one for the Trojans. They really, on that first drive, they, again, shooting themselves in the foot. They have to clean up some of those errors. I feel like, obviously, to start the third quarter, they have to get a stop here immediately if they have any hope of getting back into this game. For Southlake, man, they've just been executing every play, every down, and they have made every possession count. And look, they can go to the running game, they can go to the air. It's like everything on their play sheet is working right now.
23-6 the score at halftime. Your halftime show sponsored by the Children's Health Andrews Institute, on your way after this on Friday Night Football. End zone shot. What a catch!
Catch a live broadcast of every play of the biggest high school football games. Next week, Glen Rose at Alvarado. Stream the broadcast free next Friday night at 7 on WFAA+.
Thanks, Delkus.
Possibly the most loved and hated man in North Texas. Whatever the weather brings, we bring the Delkus.
And now, the Friday Night Football halftime show, sponsored by the Children's Health Andrews Institute.
And first up on the Friday Night Football halftime show, the Trinity Trojan Band and the THS Color Guard. Chris Kinnicky, the director of the band. Cameron Hewell, the director of the THS Color Guard. They are set to take the field and perform. We hope you enjoy the show. Carroll's 2 teams to follow.
And now, ladies and gentlemen, for your halftime entertainment, the Hearst Euless Bedford Independent School District proudly presents the sweethearts of Trinity High School, the award-winning Trojans. The Trojans Cotton sponsors are Classic Chevrolet, Raising Cane, Parrish Hair Electrical, Dave DeVries Remax Realty, Penny's Automotive, Black Tire Service, Rita's Italianized, KTS Production, Condor Moving Systems, and Southwest Wholesale Nursery. The 2025-2026 Trojan Dance Officers are First Lieutenant and Officer of the Month, Jordan Barbie. Your Captain, Addison Prusha. The squad leaders are Lauren Caston, Liana Musangai, Yaya Olmos, Kenna Simpson. The 2025-2026 Social Officers are Rexy Indala, Carmen Stewart, Vice President Caden Phillips, President Naisha Cabela. The Spirit Girl of the Week is Lily Flory. The Trojan of the Week is Allison Thompson. The Teacher of the Week is Miss Williams. Now we invite you to sit back and enjoy as the Trojans perform to Ain't No Mountain. Sponsors are Majestic Vanity, J&H, Contracting, Old Hand Tattoo Club, Wood Care Clinic, JC Diamond Solutions, G&G Stewart, PC Construction, Janet and Roger Fisher, Haley Benavides, and Grant Family, and Nico Rendon and RJ Williams Realty, Happy Pig LLC, and Spot the Glorious. And now, entering the field for your continued halftime enjoyment, marching band. Their 2025 field production is entitled Prophecy. Through shimmering crystal balls and swirling visions of light, a mysterious forecast takes shape. Music and motion awaken the hidden possibilities of tomorrow. guiding us from uncertainty to the promise of what lies ahead. The ninth section of the week is the battery section. Now, under the field supervision of Drum Major Gomer Bakri, Emmy Mananga, Maris Harris, and Bryson Rodenberger. Trinity High School proudly presents the Trojan Marching Band. The Trinity Marching Band. The Trinity Marching Band is in the direction of
A terrific show from both units from Euless Trinity High School. Next up, from Southlake Carroll, the Carroll Dragon Band under the direction of Ken Johnson, and the Southlake Carroll Color Guard under the direction of James Thomas, ready to take the field from the East End Zone. We hope you enjoy the show.
The Director of Vision and Performing Arts is Christine Cumberland. Superintendent of HEB ISD is Dr. Joe Harrington. The Trinity Band would like to wish the Southlake Carroll Band a successful marching season. Ladies and gentlemen, please welcome to the field the 2035 Southlake Carroll Dragons.
Emerald Bell's title sponsor is 7 Therapy. Premier and High Kick sponsors are Clean Simple Eats, Copper Nail Roofing, Digital Marketing and Print Solutions, Dragons & Co. by Amy B. Design, Ankles & Volker, Roxanne Taylor and Amber Butcher, and Epiphany Dermatology. Diamond sponsors for the Dragon Band are Sewell Automotive, State Farm Vic McLean, Eddie's Cat, the Inouye family, the Lengo family, and a few platinum sponsors are Jago Public Company, Dizzy's Ghost, and Shaw Family 7S Ranch.
Shows and venues. None has left more than right here in Dragons Stadium. For 29 years, the Emerald Bells have been under the direction of Melissa Page. The assistant director is Catherine DeBrow.
Officers for the Emerald Bells, Captain Senior Lily Fraga, First Lieutenant Megan Brickner, Senior Lieutenants Kate Coleman, Skylar Knezik, and Bridget Lang. Junior Lieutenants are Eleanor Brownfield, Alyssa Drees, Nina Lang, Hannah Marr, and Avery Schnocky. Historian is Audrey Venus, and Social Chairman is Macy Witten. This week's Girl of the Week is Senior Andrea Salazar. And Be Kind, Be a Bell is Isla Hubbard. Tonight, the Emerald Bells is reported a Julian Paul and Heinrich production to Jackson. Watch your Emerald Bells. The Dragon Band has a proud tradition of excellence. The Dragon Band has made 16 appearances at the Texas UIL State Marching Contest, including 2 UIL State Championships. They are Bands of America, Regional, Super Regional, and Grand National finalists, and are the recipients of the prestigious International John Philip Sousa Sudler Field. The Dragon Band is under the field direction of head drum major Maylee Reinke, senior drum majors Malak Al-Masri and Ryan Boo, and junior drum majors Jackson Henderson and Sophia Kidwell. Color guard captains are Avery Kress and Daniela Aguilar Villalobos. Senior lieutenant is Casey Spencer, and junior lieutenant is Audrey Devine. Tonight, the Dragon Band will perform a portion of their 2025 competition show. Ladies and gentlemen, the Carroll Dragon Band proudly presents Cordially Yours.
A terrific halftime show from all 4 units. Thank you so much for watching the Friday Night Football halftime show, sponsored by the Children's Health Andrews Institute. Let's show you the first half highlights of how we got to this point. A 23-6 halftime lead for Southlake Carroll. They jumped out to an early lead with Angelo Renda running it in from a yard out with 5:37 left in the first quarter. And Heckman, they would take advantage of a penalty after the touchdown and kick the onside kick and recover it. But a little controversy here.
Yeah, that's when I looked over at you and I said, look, this game is going to change after that. And what did they do? They went right in and they scored on their first play.
Went for the jugular. Angelo Renda to Brody Knowles for the touchdown. It was 14-0 with 5:28 in the first quarter, just 9 seconds after the Renda touchdown run. Did Southlake Carroll touch that ball first on the onside kick? Kind of looked like they may have. Couple of big fourth down stops, though, from their defense were also instrumental in this first half, and Renda would pay it off with a 5-yard touchdown run early second quarter, and it was 21-0 Carroll.
Yeah, he was a magician on that play, and this is a guy playing with a cast on his left arm.
Trinity would go down the field and find the answer. The touchdown pass with 5 seconds left. Mac Lineweaver to Jalen Donaldson, but on the PAT, big number 0, Jake Lucky, diving in to block the PAT after it was a low snap, and Gavin Strange with a 95-yard scoop and score for 2 more, and that is how we get to a kind of wonky 23-7 halftime tally between Carroll and Trinity. Heckman Harrison, still a momentum boost for Euless Trinity, scoring there right before halftime. But the 2 points did kind of take a little bit of the starch out of it.
Yeah, didn't do themselves any favor right there. And then the Carroll Dragons get the ball to start the third quarter, and that's where it puts your defense under duress. They got a big-time break there at the end of the first half, so they should be fresh and ready to go. They have to get a stop here to start the third quarter.
Comment in the YouTube feed, Lady Pandora says it should be 14-6 in reality because the onside was questionable. It's a fair point. It did certainly look like Carroll touched that football first, shy of the 10 yards that it has to go, about 9 yards downfield. Again, no replay in Texas high school football until they get to the 12 state championship games, so there was no opportunity for Bill Theodore and his crew to go back and look at this thing. They had to do their best with what they saw in the moment, and they ruled that Carroll had legally recovered that onside kick, and it was Southlake Carroll football, and to your point, they went for the jugular the very next play and scored. But as we look at the halftime stats, it does reflect a more evenly played football game, frankly, than 23-6 would suggest. Trinity with the advantage in first downs, Trinity with the advantage in total yards. The penalties are important here. The penalties are a big part of the story why they haven't been able to finish drives. But it's a more evenly played football game, Heckman, than the score would suggest.
Yeah, and that's exactly where I was going. The score doesn't suggest that. It's just that the Dragons have been executing on each one of their possessions and have only had to punt the ball 1 time in that first half. Most of their drives were ending in 7 points. And so, again, if you could take anything from that, if you're a Trinity Trojans fan, you feel like, hey, we got some good things going at the end of the first half. That may be enough to lead the charge as far as the momentum that you needed. But this second half is going to be huge for the Trojans, and they have to start out and bring the fight to the Dragons.
They need a stop.
Yes.
Is what they need right away. They were able to find a stop there in that second quarter when, for the first time all night, Carroll wasn't starting with outstanding field position. And not only did they get a stop, they got a 3 and out.
Yeah.
They need more of the same here to start this second half. There you see Angelo Renda, the starting senior quarterback for the Carroll Dragons. The Pitt commit playing with a cast on his left hand.
How unique is that?
He doesn't show any signs of issue with that whatsoever. Obviously on his non-throwing hand, that helps in that regard. But he's playing through that injury without any issue. And he has led his team to a very strong first half. And they lead 23-6 as we get ready to start this third quarter. In the first half, Renda, 109 passing yards and the 1 touchdown pass. Also a pair of touchdown runs. He has been the offense tonight for the Carroll Dragons. And he will be back on the field to start this third quarter.
One of the things that we definitely noticed that the wind has picked up here at Dragon Stadium. Let's see how it affects punts, field goals if you need it.
Basically directly in our face behind the Southlake Carroll sideline, moving across the field from south to north. You get a look at some of the flags whipping behind where the Carroll Dragon band sits. Jaden Boy to kick it away for Euless Trinity. Parker Harris, Brock Boyd deep to return for Southlake Carroll. Short kick from Boyd at the 10. Harris to the near sideline. Hops over a man and out across the 40-yard line. A return of 33.
May want to scratch kicking that kid the ball again, but that is, they blocked that up well. And again, the Dragons start with great field position.
They started at their own 47, their own 44, and after the onside kick at the Euless Trinity 36-yard line on their 3 touchdown drives tonight. And again, good field position to start this drive at their own 42.
Dragons is the scrimmage from their own 42-yard line.
Swing pass for Mackey. Bottled up quickly by the Trinity defense, but he did pick up 3 on the play.
Yeah, getting there in a hurry, and we saw them open up with that on a drive before the end of the first half, where they were just getting the ball to those outside receivers. Caden Mackey with another catch in this game.
Southside Chippa in the YouTube comments says he's watching from Tonga right now. The vast Tongan community in Euless, instrumental in all the success of this program through the decades.
Good throw.
Good throw, but right through the hands of his intended target, Blake Gunner, and incomplete.
Yeah, that's one of those ones where you take the palm of your hand and hit yourself on the chest. Universal signal for my bad, because that was one that Blake Gunner should have had. Oh.
So it's 3rd down and 7 here, and an opportunity for Donald Tryon's Trinity Trojan defense to get off the football field.
Big down here. I'm telling you what, right now, Angelo Renda hadn't been under a lot of pressure. See the Trojans going with a 3-down line look.
Play action, throw near side, complete, and a 1st down. He went right back to Blake Gunner. This time the junior wide receiver makes the catch. It's a pickup of 11, and they move the chains.
No need for my bad on that play for Gunner, man. He definitely atoned for the drop.
Into Trinity territory at the 43. It looked like Trinity's defense had read that play too, and it looked like the linebacker was going to undercut it. Couldn't get his hands on it. Good throw by Renda to get it over top of him. Renda to the air again. Deep ball up the seam, wide open. Brock Boyd, touchdown. 43 yards. Carroll strikes quickly in the 3rd.
How can you lose track of Brock Boyd? As you see him here, Renda with all day to unload this pass, and Brock Boyd makes them pay. Had an opportunity to speak with his trainer, David Robinson. He gave us a ton of good information on Brock Boyd and just talked about his preparation, a kid that he'd been training since he was in the 5th grade. And he's like, this kid has been training with pros for that long. You're looking at a guy that is ready for whatever Ohio State's going to put on his plate.
Another penalty there after the play that Bill Theodore said will be assessed on the kickoff. Renda to Boyd for a 43-yard touchdown. And Gavin Strange on for the PAT. It's up and through, and it is a 30-6 lead for Southlake Carroll.
Your new score now, 10:33 remaining, third quarter. Southlake Carroll, the Dragons 30.
And that's just one of those penalties.
The Trojans 6.
You said that penalty was on Trinity?
Well, that's what I'm trying to figure out. I didn't see who it was called against. It will be assessed on the kickoff. We'll know here very shortly, based on where they position the football for the kickoff, whether it was on Trinity or on Carroll.
Well, you have officials on both sides, and they're talking to Lineweaver on the far side.
This looks like this is going to be another Carroll kickoff from the plus 45.
Wow. Well, you know exactly what they're about to do then. Hot mic down there. You hear somebody saying, punish him.
It will be a Southlake Carroll kickoff from the 45. We saw this happen after the opening touchdown in the first quarter, and Carroll elected to kick an onside kick and recovered it. Will they elect to kick an onside kick again here?
Yep,
There's really no negative to doing it, because if the ball is recovered by Trinity, they start at their own 35-yard line. That's not terrible field position to give up, and it does again look like Gavin Strange is going to kick an onside kick here. Can Carroll steal another possession? This time it's a little pop kick that's going to go out of bounds. And Trinity will have possession.
Oh, they have that whole side for the Trojans over there holding their breath on that one.
Kick out of bounds on the kicking team. 5 yards is added to the out of bounds spot. First step.
Graham Rayner, our photographer down there on the sideline, had that one come right at him.
Graham with the great reflexes.
Graham could have made the recovery.
Don't ask Graham to do that. He will leave the stadium in handcuffs.
So Trinity did not get the stop they needed to begin this second half.
You know, Mike, we talked about it at half about how big that opening drive was here in the third quarter, and just this Dragons offense, man, they are clicking on all cylinders.
Can they get JT Harris going again? Not on the first play of the possession. Taken down for a loss. Crawford Taylor there to drop him for a loss of 2.
Number 88 is having himself a heck of a game, man.
Yeah.
He is making life unbearable. We know how JT Harris, he's been gashing them, hitting some big runs, but boy, they have to block up number 88, and if they miss on him, guaranteed he's going to make the tackle.
This Trinity offensive line just has not been able to move bodies quite the way that you would have expected them to be able to. They have the size advantage. Lineweaver to the air, near sideline, right through the hands of Tayshawn Ethan, and incomplete.
Oh, you got to have that, 5. You got to have it, but I agree with you. When we talk about this offensive line, we expected them to control the line of scrimmage, but the Dragons' defensive line has been getting penetration when they've needed, and obviously putting pressure on the quarterback when they've needed it as well.
Third and 12. Lineweaver over the middle into traffic, and it's intercepted. Picked off. Parker Harris with the interception.
And Mac Lineweaver is just trying to make something happen. You see him right here on the scramble, waiting on the receiver to come open, and he's got green jerseys in his face, and he rushes that throw.
And the #1 team in the state making play after play after play tonight, proving just how good they are. We've seen them already go for the jugular once tonight, right after the onside kick recovery. What's the call this time from Riley Dodge? They faked the swing pass, looked deep, then went back to the swing pass. Plenty of room for Caden Mackey, and he dives out of bounds with a dozen more.
Number 15, Caden Mackey.
And you see on the far side, John Meredith, he's getting up slow, reaching at his ankle. But man, these receivers, man, they have been dissecting this defense.
It's not Meredith is the one who's down. It's Elijah Smith, the Mike linebacker, that stayed down after the play. It does look like, though, to your point, that Meredith is moving slowly on the far sideline. He's up on his own feet. Smith being tended to by the training staff. Euless Trinity just has not been able to create any sort of momentum in this football game. The one drive before halftime was really it, and even that momentum was cut off at the knees by the blocked field goal, blocked PAT, and the return for 2 by Gavin Strange.
Yeah, missed opportunities, though. I think you did have an opportunity to pick up the first down, and it was just a drop pass.
Yes.
By Tayshawn Efon. They needed that one desperately.
Yeah.
You know, you got two teams that are ranked coming to this game, and we know exactly what Euless Trinity has to do, and with all the big bodies that they have, but it just seemed like the Carroll Dragons have been unbothered by that size.
1st and 10 at the 33 for Angelo Renda in this Carroll offense that has been precise tonight. Again taking over with terrific field position, this time off the interception by Parker Harris. Again, they fake the swing pass, go deep down the near sideline. What a catch by Brody Knowles, but no, incomplete. Oh my goodness, that would have been a sensational grab.
Man, it might have been catch of the year, using all of that length over the top of the DB. He has it in his hands. And man,
good hand fight.
Yes, sir, it really was. Dontrell Johnson just staying with it.
Giving up 6 inches. I'm sorry, 8 inches to Brody Knowles.
That's a lot.
5'8", 174, Dontrell Johnson against 6'4", Brody Knowles. But Johnson kept fighting and was able to knock it away. Biggers on the handoff up the middle. Not a lot of room to find for the reserve running back for Southlake Carroll, who actually leads the team in rushing yards coming into the night with 176. His 3rd carry of the night. He's got 11 yards this evening. It will be 3rd down and 8.
And Trojans, yes, they have changed up coverage quite a bit, but you look out here on the outside, this kid, Dontrell Johnson, is a man on an island out here, and now they switched it and brought Brock Boyd to his side.
Another motion man. Handoff up the middle for Biggers. Biggers had a block.
Oof.
Good fight through the block to make the tackle by John Meredith and chop him down short of the line to gain. If Meredith didn't make that tackle, perhaps nobody would.
Nobody would. And this is a cornerback fighting through the trash to get a tackle.
That's why that young man is a 5-star and the #1 cornerback in the country. In addition to his cover skills, he can step up and make a play. That sets up 4th and 2, and Carroll's going to go for it here. They are in Gavin Strange's field goal range. It would be about a 42-yarder from here. But Angelo Renda in shotgun, 6 on the play clock. They will snap it. Handoff, Biggers up the middle, surges forward. He's got the 1st down.
Boy, it initially looked like they had Moatow, number 7, in the middle there. May have had an opportunity to make a tackle, but boy, Biggers making them pay, picking up the 1st down.
Carroll content to let some clock burn here. Up 3 scores, 30-6, a 24-point advantage. They throw the swing pass again. That was read well by Carroll, but a good block by Brock Boyd. Otherwise, Caleb Adam had an interception on the mind.
I mean, hey, I see him. He's reading this the whole time.
Watch him surge into the screen, number 8. And Boyd canceled him out and allowed that ball to get to Blake Gunner.
Wow.
A pickup of 8 on the play. Biggers, first down. The Carroll offense just keeps surging.
Yeah, keep surging, and they're taking bodies with them.
And another player down here for Trinity. And it looks like maybe Elijah Smith again.
Well, but this offensive line for the Dragons, they are all lathered up and bringing the heat.
John Burnett, Olivia Bartlett, Saad Rahabali, the training staff for Euless Trinity. Out to 10 to Elijah Smith, the senior middle linebacker for the Trinity Trojans.
Yeah, they've been mixing it up in the middle of the field. Those linebackers, man, if they're not running sideline to sideline, they're taking on tackles, guards coming their way. This has been a tough job interior-wise for this defense. Some big old guys up front for the Dragons, and they block well.
They've got the helmet off now for Elijah Smith. They're down at the 5-yard line. And they'll bring him to a seated up position now.
Saw it at the end of the play. I saw him come over the top of a pile. He has a Dragon offensive lineman pretty much taking him over the top of a pile. Don't know if it was a shoulder, but he landed pretty hard. Glad to see that young man up and walking off on his own.
As he walked off, it looked like he might have been reaching for his back a little bit as well. May have gotten contorted in an odd position. The result of the play was a first down carry by Brooks Biggers, and it sets up 1st and goal for Carroll at the 8-yard line. Biggers again with the carry. Sidesteps a tackler and he's in. Southlake Carroll lands another haymaker.
Again, another one of those well-designed plays. They've been attacking this defense out on the edges, and once they get the seal block on the outside, as you see it here, Biggers literally can just walk into the end zone after he makes that first cut.
And Carroll capitalizes on more terrific field position, this time paying off the interception by Parker Harris with an 8-play, 45-yard touchdown drive. Extra point from Gavin Strange is up and through, and it's 31-6. Southlake Carroll with the lead. I beg your pardon, 37-6.
Well, I tell you what, we thought we were going to have a much better game than this.
Yeah.
But keep talking about what happened last year.
That's a good thing to remember.
And this game is
not all that different a score.
Not at all from what we saw from Euless Trinity last season.
It was funny in talking with Riley Dodge about this earlier this week. He said they kind of surprised us. They all of a sudden went like old school Texas Tech and started slinging it all over the yard, and they were really effective with it and kind of surprised us with it. Euless Trinity a year ago threw the ball 23 times in that football game, completed 20 of those 23 passes, and roared back in that football game and cut the lead down to 8 at one point. Lost that game 56-48, the final score. 8 was as close as they would get. That was middle of the second quarter when they trailed 35-7 in that game. Late second quarter, in fact, before Trinity scored right before halftime to make it 35-14. So not as much time to work with here for Aaron Lineweaver's team, but they have made a comeback on Southlake Carroll before. Got to imagine that's part of the discourse on the sideline right now, that, hey, we've done it, let's do it again.
Well, it's going to be a Herculean effort if they are able to get back in this one. It just, offensively, they just hadn't had a whole lot going for them. And I think what the adjustments that Carroll made at halftime was like, look, guys, if we can limit these guys on the back half with our secondary, all we have to do is pin our ears back and stop number 24. And I think on that first drive, that's what you saw them commit to.
Not great field position here for Trinity to start the possession at their own 16-yard line. And they just go quarterback sneak right up the middle with Mac Lineweaver for 4 yards to start the possession.
I'm used to seeing that like on the 1 or 2 yard line,
right?
Not so much at the 16.
I know back when I played the position, that was something that, like, you in the center just knew, hey, if we get up to the line of scrimmage and they got both defensive tackles splayed out wide in like 3 techniques or 5 techniques, and they're just giving away the middle of the football field, I'm just going to tap you on your right hip and say, here we go, and go right up the middle. Mac Lineweaver does that and picks up 4 to start the possession. J.T. Harris falling forward himself for 3 more, and it will be 3rd down and 3. Friday Night Football sponsored by Texas Day Brazil. Brazilian flavors, Texas spirit. Enjoy the best of both worlds, where Brazilian culinary traditions meet the bold flavors of Texas. Come for the food, stay for the adventure. 3rd down and 3. Trinity needs a first down in the worst way. Toss to Harris, undercut. Robbie Ladd knifing through for the stop, and it's 4th down.
Robbie Ladd, it doesn't get any better than that as a linebacker.
There's a flag down, and a Southlake assistant coach is going to usher William Chen off the football field because something he did, it would appear, led to this penalty flag after the play. 2 or 3 Carroll assistant coaches. I don't know if he said something or did something. I didn't see the act in the moment, but you definitely saw the aftermath. See if you can see it here at the back end of the replay.
And it happened after. Yeah, that's 89. You see these guys pushing on each other down at the bottom of a pile. So let's see if this is offsetting.
Possibly.
There are 2 fouls, both on the defense.
Wow.
Unsportsmanlike conduct, number 9. Unsportsmanlike conduct, number 12. 15 yards is added to the end of the run. It's an automatic first down. That's the first unsportsmanlike foul for both 9 and 12.
Well, that would drive a coach crazy, even when you're up by 31.
Marcus Browse, the starting defensive end, the initial offending party, it would appear. He was tangled up at the bottom of the pile. I think it was Cohen Fiafia that he was tangled up with, number 89 for Trinity. And then as Fiafia got up, then was when you saw William Chen come in and push Fiafia to the ground for the extracurriculars that were happening there. And it gives a free first down to Trinity. J.T. Harris trying to make something of it. Gets the corner and snows under the defender across midfield to pick up a 13.
Yeah, he's going to get the edge. And you saw number 32, William Lenz, he has an angle on him. Look at it right here. 32, he has an angle, but look at the speed.
Yeah.
It's like, hey, catch these pebbles off of this turf, because I'm going to burn you to this edge.
So 1st and 10, they'll say right at the midfield stripe. Harris again, trying to work off one block, but good defense to get, whoa. They blow it dead. William Lines had driven him back enough. They determined that forward progress was stopped, and both players just stopped playing. That looked very strange.
Okay. But Lines gets his revenge right there.
Yeah.
Hey, you burned me one time. Not going to let you get me again.
It'll be 2nd down and 13 for Euless Trinity. They've got to get to the 40 to move the chains. Trinity needs points and in a hurry. Will they go to the air? They will here. Lineweaver near side. Timing was off. And it's 3rd and very long. We want to let you know about something special we're going to do here on WFA Plus on September 30th. Our first ever volleyball broadcast. The Southlake Carroll Dragons will play host in this one against a Byron Nelson team ranked not only #1 in the state of Texas, they are the #1 volleyball program in America. #1 ranked team in the country and the defending national champions. That is September 30th at 5:30 right here on WFAA Plus. 3rd and 13, handoff to Harris up the middle on the draw. He's got the first down into Southlake Carroll territory. A brilliant play call by Rodney Bartholomew, and Trinity moves the chains.
You call that? That is absolutely a brilliant play. Sticking him out on the delayed draw. Big time pickup here for the Trojans.
JT Harris up over 100 yards on the day with that carry. 18 carries for 111 yards. And whatever glimmers of hope Trinity may have in this football game, stay alive with that first down pickup. Harris again trying to find a crease, and just green jerseys everywhere. Second and 10, play action. Trying to set up the screen.
Oh, they took him out.
Jake Lucky was there to take down JT Harris, and Harris got up looking for a flag.
Look, I can tell you what, that is high IQ football right there. Lucky sees what's going on. He knows he's caught up in the wash. What does he do? He takes out the biggest threat. There's no way. I'm not letting you go.
So it's 3rd and 10. Gray in the YouTube comments says running out of time.
Yeah.
Indeed. 14.5 minutes left in the football game. It's a 4-score game. Another delay handoff to Harris. Makes a man miss. Lowers his shoulder and gets to the 35, but no farther. It's going to be 4th down and 7.
Wow. Another 4th down here. Question is, do they, well, they're going to have to, well, I can't even say that. I was going to say they're going to have to go to the air on this. We've seen them line up in an I formation and run an ISO.
4th and 7. Carroll has made multiple big 4th down stops today. Can they again? Pop fast for Fia. He lost the football. Still loose on the deck and recovered by Carroll. Fia would have had the first down, but it was popped out from behind.
How disappointing is that for Fia? I feel bad for him because he's just trying to make something happen. And it's the defender coming from behind that pokes it out.
William Lines causing the fumble.
Wow, what a play.
And with 1:36 left in the 3rd, Carroll takes over again. The 3rd turnover of the day for the Trinity offense. The 2 fumbles and the 1 interception thrown by Lineweaver. And Carroll takes over at their own 22-yard line. They like this swing pass. They find Boyd this time. He made the first man miss, but then canceled out after a pickup of 4.
Yeah, how about sweet feet right there, splitting the defenders. Looked like he was going to take that one either for a loss or no gain, and he turned nothing into something. Kid is as advertised, Mike.
Yes,
Tell
he
you what,
is.
he has not disappointed.
5 receptions, 77 yards, the 43-yard touchdown reception to start this third quarter and really blow this game open for Southlake Carroll. 5 yards on that pickup. Now they'll go to Mackey. Carroll just knows they're 5 to 8 yards every time they throw this screen pass. Trinity has not made the necessary adjustment to cancel it out.
And we've seen a couple of times where the safeties have come up immediately to try and make the tackle, even reading the play well, just not able to split the defenders or get between, the blockers to pick that pass off or at least get a stop.
30 seconds left in this third quarter. Carroll will have to snap it at least one more time in the period. Davis Penn. Elijah Smith back in the football game. Good to see him back on his feet and healthy and on the field, making the tackle there. But another pickup of 5, and that'll be the final play of the third quarter. Southlake Carroll has been in control from the word go tonight. The #1 team in the state, showing it all evening on their home field. We head to the 4th on Friday Night Football.
Thanks, Delkus.
Possibly the most loved and hated man in North Texas. Whatever the weather brings, we bring the Delkus.
Let's bring you back in time, because this game is why we're all here tonight. 2006, second round of the playoffs. Carroll and Trinity both had won state championships the year prior, and Carroll jumped on them early. Riley Dodge to Chris Brainerd, a 40-yard touchdown hookup, and Carroll had struck early in this football game. They led 7-0, but this ended up being a low-scoring game, and in the 4th, Trinity would take the lead. Justice Campbell with a 69-yard touchdown run, and the Trojans led this game 21-16 in the 4th. They had possession in the final 2 minutes. They didn't want to punt the football back, so they go fake punt. And this is a call that Steve Lineweaver said he heard about from everybody for a very long time. Carroll read it brilliantly, made the stop, and Riley Dodge would score the game-winning touchdown with 37 seconds left. Carroll would go on to win the state championship 4 weeks later.
What a game.
Their 3rd consecutive. The folks that were there say there were in excess of 60,000 people at the stadium that night. One of those people, our statistician, Robert Walton, was there to witness that incredible football game. That was a game that was hyped up in a very, very big way, Heckma Harrison, and lived up to every word of that hype. Tonight, frankly, Southlake Carroll has made sure that this one hasn't.
Hey, coffee shops everywhere around these parts are still talking about that fake punt.
You know that.
They are
You know that.
talking about the missed opportunity that got away from Euless Trinity, because that game looked like it was all but done, except for the trophy ceremony. And Southlake came back and stunned them in front of 60 plus.
1st and 10 for Carroll at the 48-yard line. They hit Brock Boyd on the first play of the quarter to get to that point. Now they hit Blake Gunner. Flag on the play, right in the vicinity of where the wide receiver was blocking out in front, Brody Knowles. And it looks like this one is coming back. Steve Lineweaver maintains that the thought process on that fake punt call was that Carroll had this elite passing offense, and they did. They could throw it anywhere they wanted to with Riley Dodge at the quarterback position. It is a holding penalty on Brody Knowles that will negate the first down reception by Blake Gunner. He said it didn't matter where we gave him the football. They were going to make up the yardage more likely than not, regardless of whether they took over at their own 30 or at our 30. He felt like the way we win this football game is to pick up this first down and never give them the football back. And the fake punt just didn't work. But I think he felt like if we give them the football in any way, shape, or form, no matter where it is on the field, we're probably going to lose. So he took his shot, and it just didn't work out for him. 1st and 17 now after the penalty. Davis Penn pushing the pile all the way back to the original line of scrimmage, and it'll be 2nd and 10.
You know, look, going back to that 06 game, you know, it's clear now after years and years of that game what should have been done. And much hadn't changed, though, about this offense for the Carroll Dragons. They're still explosive on offense, but that was a game that literally looked like the Trojans had command in that game. And finally taking the lead, the ability right there for Dodge, he became a legend that game.
2nd and 10 for Renda. Pressure on, steps into it, throws downfield, incomplete. He was looking for Brody Knowles.
This is the first miscue that we've seen between those guys as far as the connection. His completion percentage has got to be really, really good on throws right now.
17 of 21 now on the day is Angelo Renda for 219 yards, a pair of touchdown passes. He's also got 2 touchdown runs.
Ain't bad work for a young man.
He's been sensational. Pitt's got a good QB making his way to Western Pennsylvania. 3rd down and 10, a little more than 10 as you see that stick just behind the original line of scrimmage. Handoff, Davis Penn.
Wow.
He's got the corner. Davis Penn's got the first down and steps out of bounds inside the 40. There is a flag down back by Angelo Renda. This may be a hold.
Comes out at the end of the play, the tail end of the play.
That is true.
Wow.
John Mark Fraga, the offending party. The senior reserve tight end called for the hold. So another penalty on Carroll negates yet another first down, and now it's going to be 3rd down and 21.
Well, Fraga got himself back over on the bench after that holding penalty.
Carroll exchanging some personnel. 4 wide receiver set here on 3rd and 21. They need the 38-yard line. They throw the swing pass, breaking a tackle, and Blake Gunner's going to have the first down and then some. Another flag is down. John Meredith celebrating because he thinks he was held. 58 yards on the catch and run from Blake Gunner, but it looks like this one's coming back. And you can see Riley Dodge is not happy with the call.
Wow.
Riley Dodge being held back by his assistant coaches there.
Yeah, not happy. Well,
Riley Dodge on no uncertain terms making his opinion about the flag known. They've picked up the flag?
What?
They've picked up the flag. And the touchdown will stand. Wow. Give another look at this one. See if you can see the
here it comes
flag
right here.
in the picture.
Wow.
I think they were going to say that it was a block in the back.
Yes. Wow. Wow. Wow.
So Riley Dodge made his point and evidently needs a law degree because he got him to overturn the flag. And the touchdown will stand, a 58-yard touchdown pass from Angelo Renda to Blake Gunner. And it's 44-6, Southlake Carroll.
Wow.
On what was, by the way, 3rd down and 21.
I don't know, Mike. That's
an 8-play, 82-yard drive over 326, and it's 44-6, Southlake Carroll. I think that.
Can we get a replay on that? I just want to see that one more time.
Yeah, can we maybe get the top angle, Clay Marshall, our director, one more time from up above? Well, this angle's good. Yeah, this will be probably a better look at it. You'll probably be able to see more of the play.
Yeah.
Number 9 at the very bottom right corner of your screen, and it's Brock Boyd from behind. That was what drew the flag for what they thought was going to be a block in the back, but Bill Theodore and his crew talked it over and overturned the flag, and there you see Riley Dodge expressing his frustration with the officiating crew. I think that Riley Dodge tomorrow morning will tell you 2 things. I think he still feels exactly the same about whether or not it should have been a flag, and I'll probably tell you that he would also confess he would like those 30 seconds back to do a little bit differently than he just did.
Yeah, of course.
However, all of that results in a 44-6 lead for Southlake Carroll with 10:10 on the clock here in the 4th quarter.
Yeah, in real time, I'll tell you, when we saw it, it looked like Meredith, there was a block in the back. Again, just, I think the surprising part was picking up the flag there at the end.
Because, I mean, again, if we can look at it one more time, especially the top-down angle, Clay Marshall, if we can get one more look at that touchdown, because to your point, I'm not sure that they needed to pick that flag up. It wasn't an egregious block in the back by any means, but by the letter of the law, Meredith had his back to him. One more look at it here. I think we'll have long enough to hang with this play to see it before they snap the football.
Wow.
It's not a big hit to the back. It's borderline. I am surprised that they picked it up.
Austin Trent 30 on the stop of the Dragon.
A 1-yard carry there for Euless Trinity on the first play of the possession. This has been a very interesting performance from Southlake Carroll tonight against a Trinity team that is expected to still have a very good season, this result notwithstanding. Tough run there in the interior by Zoe Palmore.
Yeah.
This is a Trinity team that I think most would expect would be right there in the mix once again in 6A D1 Region 1 with Allen and North Crowley. Those 3 teams probably making up the top teams in that region.
Yes.
Last year, Trinity lost to Allen 22-21 in the regional semis. And then North Crowley, of course, on their way to a state championship, beat Allen 28-7 in the regional final. As a Carroll Dragon was down after the play, it's Austin Trin, the senior backup linebacker, being helped off the field, walking off under his own power, but does seem to be kind of holding his wrist or hand in some way, shape, or form.
And I don't mean to put words in your mouth here, but I think what you're saying is don't judge them based off of this performance.
Well, I think more than anything else, I think what you can say is, holy smokes, judge Southlake Carroll off of this performance.
Well, yeah.
I think Euless Trinity is still a very good football team that figures to be in that mix in 6A D1 Region 1. And we'll see what Allen is this year as Lineweaver winds up and throws deep for Fia and just overshot him. They needed that to pop in the worst way. I think they'll be in that mix come playoff time. And they'll have their shot probably against Allen again in those regional semis. and we'll see where that goes. And heck, North Crowley lost last night to Rockwall in a bit of a surprise. North Crowley's not, they graduated a lot.
Yes.
They're not the team they were a year ago, admittedly. 4th and 6, and Trinity will punt this football away. Sir Mims back out to kick it away. But North Crowley's not the team they were a year ago. So can this Trinity team figure out a way to beat Allen come regional semi-time? Perhaps, and if they can, is it Trinity that's on the other side of Duncanville in a state semifinal? Like that's out there for the taking for Trinity. But holy smokes, if that's the team we're talking about with Euless Trinity and Southlake Carroll's up 44-6.
Yeah.
Now, there's been a lot of things that have happened in this game, like the onside kick early on. There have been factors. I don't think that these teams are necessarily 38 points apart, but Southlake Carroll has made a definitive statement about who the better football team is tonight, and it's by a decent margin.
Yeah, the pendulum swing from that onside kick just really changed everything from the first half. But I just got to say this, when it comes down to this Euless Trinity team, how big and physical they are. They like to get behind that running game, and they bleed the clock a lot in their games. And so other teams, man, they have to test, to be ready for that when you step into a game with them. But you also have to be able to score with them. This Dragon squad, they score at will. When they, just think about after that onside kick, what did they do? They went straight for the juggler into the end zone. And I mean, they did that quite often on explosive plays.
Yes. Sir Mims to punt it away. Fair catch called for and made at the 41-yard line by Parker Harris. A 30-yard punt for Mims. The other corollary to all of that, who on earth in 6A D2 is going to beat this Carroll Dragons team this year?
It's a good question. That's a really, really good question, Mike. And seeing these guys live, offensively and defensively, they play so well as a unit. I know, obviously, we came in talking about the show starter in Brock Boyd. He didn't disappoint. He obviously is not by himself because he has some guys with him that can get it done. Blake Gunner, Brody Knowles, to say the least. These guys are really, really good at the wide receiver position, and they also can get it done on the ground as well. But defensively, man, is where I'm really pleasantly surprised at that defensive unit, how well they play together as a unit.
Carroll going with a reserve quarterback now, Palmer Hensom in, Preston Perazzo in there at quarterback. 18, not 17, my apologies. Runs for a first down there on the first play of the possession as Carroll tries to run out the clock on a very impressive performance tonight, as they will move to 4-0 and they will win in definitive fashion the District 4 6A championship. The number 2 and number 3 teams in the district this year were expected to be Euless Trinity and Byron Nelson, the first 2 teams that Carroll plays right out of the gates. They beat Byron Nelson a week ago 52-3, and now they have put this thumping on Trinity.
I think a lot of people, that was an eyebrow raiser after they came away from that game with Byron Nelson and saying, look, is it Byron Nelson's reeling a little bit? Is there something going on program-wise with those guys? Because we know that they've been built up and so strong, built up to be so strong over the years. But I think after this game, I think this was the statement game for them, Mike.
Perazzo keeps it himself and gets spilled in the backfield. It'll be 3rd down and 7, a loss of 2 on the play.
A lot of things changing in 6A after North Crowley's defeat yesterday at the hands of Rockwall.
Woo! Wow! Nice. goodness, Emerson Zotti just got annihilated by Sir Mims. A loss of 2 on the play. Watch this again.
Yeah, Sir Mims with something to get off his chest. That is textbook tackling right there. You can't do it any better than that. Yikes.
So it's 4th down, and Carroll will punt it away as we reach the midway point of this 4th quarter. Friday Night Football sponsored by Texas Day Brazil. Join the churrasco tradition. Embrace the art of churrasco, a centuries-old Brazilian grilling tradition brought to life with modern sophistication at Texas Day Brazil. Carroll takes the delay game as Zach Hayes comes out to punt it away. Hayes punts it sky high, checks up and hits a Carroll Dragon at the 11-yard line, bounced off the shin of Cody Wilford. And Trinity will come back on the offensive side of the ball. A year ago, they were able to stage a furious comeback. Tonight, no such comeback in the offing. It has been a Southlake Carroll beatdown tonight.
Yeah, just from the opening bell.
Yeah.
It was no competition, and man, I think we were a little shocked and waiting on the response from Euless Trinity. It just never came.
Toss play near side. Keandre Dixon picks up a handful. Appreciate Jim Rockford in the YouTube comments giving us a score update. I told you before this game kicked off tonight that I felt like Duncanville needed to be on upset alert against Waxahachie. 27-22. Panthers do have the lead, but a 5-point game in the 4th quarter down there at Lumpkin Stadium in Waxahachie.
Yeah, you did say it.
2nd down and 6. As you and I talked about earlier today, I was not willing to pick the upset. I wasn't going that far. I was not willing to go that far. However, as strong as Waxahachie is evidently looking based on that score, it makes me wonder about next week for DeSoto and Waxahachie, because Waxahachie's on the come up, and DeSoto, at least so far, hasn't really fully proven that they are DeSoto just yet. Their result last week, impressive, hung 70+. So that's a step, but they've got more proving to do. Swing pass in the flats, picks up a 1st down for Nehemias Bachelar. September 30th here on WFAA Plus. Our first volleyball match ever. Number 11, Southlake Carroll hosting the number 1 team in the state, the Byron Nelson Bobcats, the defending state champs, the defending national champs. 5:30 that Tuesday night on WFAA Plus. Handoff off right tackle. Falling forward is Keandre Dixon. Under 4 minutes left to play in this one. Second and 4 here for Trinity. Dixon again with the handoff, and Keandre Dixon switching the ball to his left hand, steps out of bounds inside the 45 with another Trinity 1st down. Trinity coming up will play Byron Nelson a week from now, so that'll be a game basically for 2nd place in the district.
Yes.
Could be an interesting football game.
Yeah, the outcome of that's going to be pretty important.
It could matter for playoff positioning, yes. Off the top of my head, I don't know Byron Nelson's enrollment and how that would impact whether or not Nelson would go D1 or D2. We know Southlake Carroll will go D2 almost assuredly. 1st and 10. Handoff for the reserve Marcus Turner, and twists his way for a couple. In 4-6A, Euless Trinity is the largest school in the district, 3689 their enrollment, so they're locked into 6A D1 no matter what happens in the playoffs. The preseason picks were that Carroll, Trinity, Nelson, and Keller would make the playoffs. Byron Nelson would slide into 6A D2 with Southlake Carroll if that were to be how it shakes out. So Trinity would need to merely overtake Keller in order to, nice play there, knifing through a reserve defender for Southlake Carroll, making the tackle. Trent Fergal, the sophomore, cutting him down for a loss. So Trinity, in order to get the 1 seed out of 4-6A in 6A Division I, needs to outdo basically the rest of the district, or hope that Byron Nelson doesn't end up D1 somehow if they were to lose that game a week from now. We've reached the 2-minute timeout here on Friday Night Football. Southlake Carroll with a dominant performance on their home field. Back after this.
End zone shot. What a catch! Catch a live broadcast of every play of the biggest high school football games. Next week, Glen Rose at Alvarado. Stream the broadcast free next Friday night at 7 on WFAA+.
North Texas, it's a hot one today. If you're planning on taking the pups out, make sure to protect their paws. That asphalt is going to be hot.
Thanks, Delkin. Thanks, Delkus.
Possibly the most loved and hated man in North Texas. Whatever the weather brings, we bring the Delkus.
Make sure to join us tonight on WFA Plus at 10:40, just about an hour from right now, for Friday Night Football 5th quarter. Our post-game highlight show, streaming only on WFA Plus. Joe Trahan at the Anna Lovejoy game tonight. Highlights of that game as Lineweaver goes to the air near sideline. Good throw on target. And out of bounds on the near sideline with a big pickup is Kevin Chroma, a 17-yard gain.
Yeah, you got to keep doing that with Lineweaver, man. They're going to need him to activate that arm even more at some point in the season, obviously in the playoffs as well, when you come up against a squad like Allen. I think he just has to continue to build his confidence. We've seen him be spot on some throws and miss on some other ones.
They moved the chains up to where the completion was made. Neither the Trinity offense.
15 yards from the dead ball spot, first down.
So you heard the 15-yard penalty enforced by Bill Theodore. I did not hear, I don't think any of us heard, what the penalty itself was, but clearly a 15-yard penalty against Trinity. So instead of 1st and 10 at the 28-yard line, it comes all the way back to the 43. It will still be 1st and 10. They don't do 1st and 25 anymore. They've basically done away with that. They just bring the sticks back to the line of scrimmage. Dixon with the handoff. Nowhere to go. Gained just a yard.
Together number 4, Keandre Dixon. The Ross, number 36 on the start for the Dragons.
Lineweaver on 2nd and 9, far sideline. Completes it for another first down.
Yeah,
Garrett Toole with the catch.
That's exactly what I'm talking about. Even this garbage time right now, man, that confidence is going to pay dividends for that quarterback, because here's the deal. You know how good this running game is.
Yeah.
You know what he can do there.
Number 20 on the stop for the Dragons.
Final minute of this one. Handoff for Dixon. Out the back door. He's got a first down and then some. Lowers his shoulder to the 11 and out of bounds.
Number 4, your ball carrier. And he's stopped by number 26, Weston's lefty.
I can't help but wonder what's the soul searching that has to be done for Aaron Lineweaver's team after a performance like this. Definitely some things early on in the game that went not the way they would have wanted them to, and some things that broke against them for sure. But this isn't a young football team. There's a lot of seniors on this team, a lot of solid juniors that have got experience on this football team. They're going to have some big games in their future. Next week, for sure, an important game as Lineweaver is sacked. Another nice play by Trent Fergal, the sophomore for Southlake Carroll. The play clock would dictate that Trinity would have to snap the football one more time. There's about a half a second difference between the two, play clock and game clock.
You know, Mike, I just think for Coach Lineweaver, he came into this wanting to make it competitive with an opportunity to win the game. But once you got into the middle of it, you find out, man, this is a really talented team across from me. You know, nothing to hang your head about.
Definitely nothing to hang their head about for sure. But the next time they have a big moment, this is a moment they can certainly call back to. Flag here on the play, way after the play.
Is Coach Dodge still upset? Didn't see what happened, but he's all the way out to the 30.
Gray in the YouTube comments says just turn the page and move on.
The call goes against the offense.
It'll be third down and 22. Riley Dodge and his coaching staff coaching right down to the nub of this football game. Lineweaver spinning out of the pocket, creating some time for himself, slings it downfield. That's intercepted. Picked off on the far sideline and run out of bounds at about the 35. DeMarcus Ware Jr. D. Ware's kid makes the interception on the I'm not kidding. DeMarcus Ware Jr. is a freshman on this football team. Not yet an impact player, but certainly you got to imagine that's in his future. And sure enough, D. Ware's kid makes the interception on the final play of the game.
I am not that old. That did not just happen. Mike, no.
Heckma Harrison, wow, we are that old. 44-6 the final score. Southlake Carroll with a dominant performance, and they blow out Euless Trinity tonight on their home field. Yes, Heckma Harrison, we are that old.
That's okay.
DeMarcus Ware Jr. is a freshman on this Southlake Carroll football team and makes an interception on the final play of the night.
What a game by Southlake Carroll. They came out and they just put a whooping on the Trinity Trojans. Man, from the word say go, they were all in, and I think they emptied every barrel when it came down to their passing game. They hit everything, and I tell you what, it doesn't get any better than that as a performance. But there's my man right there. There's my man.
Big Jake Lucky.
What a great player.
He battled in the interior all night tonight, and he's enjoying his FaceTime right now.
Yes, sir. I love it. I absolutely love it.
One quick score update before we hit a commercial break, because I've now got this coming in from two different places. A comment in the YouTube feed just a moment ago, and independent confirmation from a buddy of mine down there in Waxahachie. Hatchie has taken the lead late in the fourth on Duncanville, 28-27 with 3:48 to play. Waxahachie set to kick it away to the Panthers, the number 2 team in the state, on the ropes tonight down in Ellis County. So that's something worth watching for the balance of the evening. Updates on that for sure on Friday Night Football, fifth quarter tonight. We will take a quick break. We'll come back with your Texas Day Brazil player of the game and the play of the game, sponsored by the Children's Health Andrews Institute. After this. End zone shot. What a catch!
Catch a live broadcast of every play of the biggest high school football games. Next week, Glen Rose at Alvarado. Stream the broadcast free next Friday night at 7 on WFAA+.
Thanks, Delkus.
Possibly the most loved and hated man in North Texas. Whatever the weather brings, we bring the Delkus.
WFAA has a legacy of changing the system.
Most recently, we did a story on ankle monitors and how they don't work, and how criminals are committing crimes with ankle monitors. And yeah, there's legislative change coming.
Our 2-year investigation caught the attention of state representatives. Now, it's a crime to cut off ankle monitors.
I want people to see things that we need to hold people accountable for.
What's up, football fans? It's the best time of the year. Every Monday morning, we want to hear what you have to say about the game. Join me, Marcus Stook, Glenn Strutch-Smith, and Rebecca Lopez for the call-in show, Monday mornings at 11:30.
Sponsored by Keypost Company.
North Texas, it's a hot one today. If you're planning on taking your pups out, make sure to protect their paws. That asphalt is going to be hot.
Thanks, Delkus. Thanks, Delkus.
Possibly the most loved and hated man in North Texas. Whatever the weather brings, we bring the Delkus.
Discover WFAA Plus, a live 24-hour stream of WFAA news and exclusive digital content, all completely free. Now available on Apple TV, Roku, and Fire TV. Download WFAA Plus today.
And now, the Texas Day Brazil on fire player of the game.
Angelo Renda, the senior quarterback on his way to Pitt. 18 of 22, 277 passing yards, 3 touchdown passes. He had this one for 43 yards to Brock Boyd to start the third quarter. He also heckma ran for 2 scores, and he is our player of the game.
Yeah, I think we got the right guy. If he's going to ball like that, you're going to get player of the game. He came in and he continued to dial it up, but then when they got down on the goal line on those zone read runs, he was a magician with the ball. And I think just because he had that cast on his wrist, everybody's thinking, man, he's not going to go with it.
Right?
He did. He did, and he did it twice. I mean, just a really overall great team win, obviously for the Carroll Dragons. We have to pick a player of the game. Renda, he was the man tonight.
And to be able to have the sleight of hand on the read options with the cast on his leg, like you got to have some wherewithal to pull those things off and not frankly fumble the football and have ball security. That's pretty impressive stuff from the senior that is on his way to Pitt. Angelo Renda is our player of the game.
Here's tonight's Friday Night Football play of the game, sponsored by the Children's Health Andrews Institute.
Play of the game, we go back to 5 seconds left in the second quarter. Trinity had just scored a touchdown, seemed to have all of the momentum, and on the PAT, Big Jake Lucky diving in to block the extra point, and Gavin Strange, the senior safety, on one bounce, scoops it up and goes 95 for 2 more points for Southlake Carroll. Heckma, that might have been the play that dashed Trinity's hopes tonight, because they had a really nice drive and capped it off the way they needed to and felt like they were going to go into halftime with momentum, and then that happened.
Look, this is taking the air out of the balloon for the Trinity Trojans. After that long drive in the second quarter, they had everything going their way. They needed those 7 points. Obviously they got the touchdown, but the PAT just wasn't as simple as they thought it was. And, man, again, that just took all of the air out of their sails after they're thinking they're about to go into half on a high. Yeah. And that was just zapped immediately.
And in addition to all of the momentum aspects of that, it was going to be a 2-score game.
Yeah.
And that 3-point swing made it a 3-possession game again. It was 23-6 at halftime. It was a 3-possession game right before Trinity scored a touchdown. It was 21-0. How do you score a touchdown and yet still find yourself in a 3-possession game 20 seconds later? It was unbelievable.
You go in the half, and now you're scratching your head. You're like, wait, how did I end up here? We thinking we're going to go in and possibly down now by 14, and my goodness, man, what a change of events. And for Coach Lineweaver, he knew it. Like, look, the whole concentration had to have been on making sure that we come out and execute in the third quarter. What did the Dragons do with their first possession in the third quarter? Just march down and score another touchdown.
Yeah.
So after that, you're looking at 30-6, and that's ball game.
Field position was also paramount in this football game. Each of the first 3 drives for Southlake Carroll started with outstanding field position. They had the 4th down stop of Euless Trinity and started at, I believe, their own 47-yard line, drove down the field and scored. Then the onside kick after the first touchdown, they start at the plus 36-yard line. And then the third drive, leading to the Renda 5-yard touchdown run early on in that second quarter, they started at their own 44. The first time that Trinity was actually able to pin them deep, they got them to go 3 and out. Yeah. But by that point, they were down 21-0.
It's done. Yeah, it was done at that point. And then you have all those flags that come out there in the third quarter. I believe it was the third quarter. And then the flag, the play that was not. Also, big change of events on the score. I mean, look, in this game, I don't know how much that even matters now in hindsight.
Sure.
I don't know. But at the same time, that was another one of those plays in this game that I think you can look at and say, wow, that was a part of this, turn of events that really just turned against Euless and any, probability of them getting back in this game.
Yeah, to split hairs on, well, if this play happened and that play happened when the final score was 44-6, at the end of the day, this is a dominant performance from Southlake Carroll. Could a play here or a play there have made this game closer for a little while? Sure. I don't think you can say much more than that. This Southlake Carroll team is a team they are very rightfully super excited about here in Southlake, because this is a team that to them feels like number 10.
Yeah.
They are already thinking that way, and they've got every reason to. This is a team that brought back 10 starters on the defensive side of the ball, 9 starters on the defensive side on the offensive side of the ball, 19 in total. They are absolutely loaded. They have Division I players at 3 of the 5 spots on the offensive line. The 4th senior on the offensive line is going to play college football as well at Amherst, a Division III program. They got a D1 quarterback. They got like 3 Division I wide receivers. They got probably 2 Division I running backs. They are absolutely stupid loaded on the offensive side of the ball. And their defense came out and showed a little something tonight against a Trinity offense that will not be easy for teams to stop this year, and they made it look easy.
And I'm sitting here this whole time thinking to myself, Mike, who have we seen, who do we know after this performance that can actually beat this team? Who could play with these guys for 4 quarters? I mean, that's the question now after just a couple of weeks now of Texas high school football. Who can hang with these guys? Because offensively, how do you keep pace with them scoring with the weapons that they have? And obviously, the offense is going to be talked about a lot, but the defense, to me, was you had to control the line of scrimmage with that that enormous offensive line of Euless Trinity, and man, they came to fight, and imminently they ended up winning by being the more physical squad.
So Southlake Carroll will almost assuredly go 6A Division II. There are only 2 teams in District 4 6A that are smaller than they are. Justin Northwest and Keller Central. Keller Central was the preseason pick to finish last in the district. They're probably not making the playoffs. They would need both Keller Central and Justin Northwest to make the playoffs for Carroll to end up having to go 6A D1.
D1, okay.
Yes. So Carroll will almost assuredly, you can basically bank on it, they will go 6A D2. Who in 6A D2 is going to beat this football team?
Yeah, with DeSoto.
I'm not sure if there's anybody in 6A D1 who's going to beat them.
Either. So here's the deal. I think now you look at a DeSoto squad that probably isn't what they used to be. So there are more questions there with that. And I don't know. I don't want to pave the way to the championship because I know that there's going to be more opposition that's going to come up along the way.
Yes.
However, with this performance tonight, I just don't see it. I mean, and let me just say this. My confidence comes from the quarterback. It really is. My confidence comes from the quarterback and what he's able to do in his command in this offense and the weapons that he has on the outside. A classic example, there was a point in the game where he was trying to hit his wide receiver. It was Blake Gunner.
Mm-hmm.
Gunner dropped the ball, and what does he do? He comes right back to him to pick up a first down. Now, that's the kind of confidence as a leader of your team that I think you need, and that's just the trust that he has in these guys. And running game, it's just a formality. They literally just run the ball to pass, okay? Don't make no mistake about that. But when they do, they are highly effective on both ends, and they stay balanced really well.
They look like a monster that it's going to be really, really hard to deal with. DeSoto will probably also end up 6A D2. That's a team that we have seen Carroll match up with before in a state semifinal. Longview is who Carroll played last year in the state semis. Certainly out there and a possibility. By the way, an update, my man Matt Pittman of Meat Church fame is texting me from the Waxahachie game.
What you got, Matt?
Duncanville has made a stop of Waxahachie. However, clock is running, and Waxahachie is going to punt the football away with only about 10 seconds left in that football game, up 28-27 on Duncanville. So Waxahachie is right there trying to pull off a massive upset tonight of the number 2 team in the state, the Duncanville Panthers. Duncanville, it sounds like, will have a prayer, but merely a prayer. So that is a very interesting result from 2 teams that are likely to end up 6A D1.
Go ahead and say it.
What's
Down
that?
goes Frazier.
I mean, hey, listen, I won't say anything till it's over. I won't say anything till it's over, but it's looking like Waxahachie may pull off the upset of the night in Texas high school football. That is stunning. 12 seconds left, he says, is where it ends up, and they're going to punt it away. Waxahachie will punt it. Duncanville down by a point. We saw North Crowley get upset a night ago. The number 3 team in the state. Tonight, the number 2 team in the state is on the ropes right now in the waning seconds down in Ellis County. And the number 1 team in the state, the only one of the bunch, playing a team also ranked in the top 10, ho-hums their way to a 44-6 win.
I don't know. Oh man, this thing, we aren't even midway through this thing, and it's gotten really interesting.
6A feels super wide open this year.
Yeah.
Feels super wide open this year.
Not like in years past.
Right. There isn't this fait accompli that it's going to be Duncanville and North Shore like it always seems to be. 6A D1 in particular looks super wide open this year. 6A D2?
Yeah.
Looks like the door's kind of already been shut.
Yes, I would say all over.
Goodness.
All over but the trophy delivery.
Man, I mean, listen, Southlake Carroll's got a long way to go. Southlake Carroll looked really, really good last year, especially through this point of the season. And then Riley Wormley got hurt, and that changed their season. If Riley Wormley stays healthy all year last year, they may have won state a year ago. They may have had enough in the tank to beat Vandegrift in the title game last year at AT&T Stadium. So there's a lot of hurdles still left to be cleared by this Southlake Carroll Dragons team. But so far, so very, very good for Angelo Renda right there, the senior quarterback on his way to Pitt. Riley Dodge, his head coach, and the Southlake Carroll Dragons. They improved to 4-0 on the year, a 44-6 final score, knocking off the Trinity Trojans in the renewal of this rivalry. The game in 06 lived up to the hype in every possible way. Tonight, not so much. Carroll, big over Trinity, and they're 4-0. Next week on Friday Night Football, Alvarado and Glen Rose. 1 week from tonight, a big game in district for both of those two teams. Alvarado, a top 10 team in 4A D1. We'll see what these two teams have to offer 1 week from tonight, right here on Friday Night Football. For our entire Friday Night Football crew, our director Clay Marshall, our photographers Graham Rayner and Dwayne Watkins, our statistician Robert Walton, our digital coordinator Zachary Giannis and Jay Wallace, Hackma Harrison alongside. I'm Mike Leslie. Thanks so much for joining us tonight here in Southlake. The Carroll Dragons, #1 in the state in a profound way. 44-6 over Trinity. Good night, everybody.